What up, YouTube? Sean here.
Who
You
that?
can also use strength.
I
Hey, dude.
back.
ASG. Well, the thing is, Mitch, it doesn't say which one I'm supposed to use on the attributes.
Yeah, it's either R for that one.
Yeah.
So you can pick which one is benefit to you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dexterity total is 14 and 2, and my strength is 15 and 2.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just took notice that my stealth is -2.
Oof.
Well,
Damn, what is that, a 6?
wouldn't that be an 8?
That's
No, 7.
impressive. 7 or 6, yeah.
I can still get a 12 with the -1? Wow.
Which means you got a 13. Well, here's my top 4. Holy shit.
Here. Let me see if I can put
Right,
on
that
a
one
good
struck
performance. No, I cannot.
Hey, that's 2 out of 4.
Oof, that's some low, crappy rolls there.
Oh, not good on perception either.
Let me see what my perception. Oh. I got
Can I
5
be
on
athletic?
that.
Acrobatics is not bad.
And the last one I have a check mark on is intimidation.
Oh yeah, I've got a check on intimidation as well. Ooh, I'm pretty intimidating.
Nice.
Some test man not able. Nope. Close. I got one more than SG.
Let me see. If I click
We're a bunch of idiots, aren't we?
Oh,
What the hell is wrong with you?
cancel.
We're just being idiots.
I'm gonna try to hit you with a thunder. Nope, never mind.
Oh.
Come at you with my light hammer.
I win.
Ouch. I strike again with light dagger. Shit, that's worse.
You missed with both of them.
Wait, what?
My armor class is 15.
So if I hit that...
But I hit you with 20. You got 3.
Okay, let's just see what level 1 does.
I don't think you entered that right, Monty.
What is that?
What'd you
Wait.
click on?
I don't know. It doesn't show anything.
Oh, did you click on one of our damages?
No.
Huh?
In my attacks and spell casting, I have a short bow, or a short sword, a long bow, and a blank.
Point gets back.
So weird. I don't know.
You can probably get rid of that one somehow.
So if I just do that...
Oh yeah, click on the little lock icon if there's a blank one, Monkey. And there's a trash can icon that'll be beside the blank one.
Okay.
If you need to get rid of it. $21!
Oh, shoot. Oh, no, never mind.
That's what throwing dart. For 2.
So who has the highest health? And
I have 10.
I've got 8.
I got 6.
I sense the pattern.
I'm not rolling it. I got decent AC, though.
What's your armor class?
In combat, 17 to 22.
Mine default all the time is 15.
Nice.
I'm 10.
Wait, what? What is yours? What?
AC armor class.
I have 16 for armor class and 12 for health.
Not bad. You a fighter
Did
or
you
a
notice
barbarian?
all the numbers 2 digits apart? 2 numbers apart. Let's see. 6, 8, 10, 12.
Oh,
I
shoot.
got 4 HP.
No, oh, crap. I never checked.
I've
for
done
that.
something really ballsy. I've gone with no Constitution mod.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. My intelligence and charisma are -1.
Oof.
I've got.
I
Yeah,
don't
my
give a
charisma
damn,
and
I don't
strength
need
are
it.
minus one.
I've got.
Hello.
I've got 2
Hey,
charisma and 1 intelligence.
We're
Nothing
just
but
comparing smallest dick sizes here.
That's essentially what this is.
We're just
Dear
testing
God,
odds
you guys.
before we start.
How unfortunate.
Oh,
Like,
hey,
I got a
that.
-1, I got a -2 in this stat.
That's all very late.
We're just being idiots.
And I got.
I mean, that's normal.
And I got
Oh,
that
yeah,
already.
How is this different than any other day?
We're even
Plus,
more
it
idiots
gets more
than
shit in
usual.
this shit.
All right, so we're waiting on Cat right this second.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have any questions about not like in-world stuff, but any like mechanics or anything you want me to talk about, go for it.
Somehow Monty rolled a blank. Not sure if he needed that or
Oh, yeah, that's my bad. I was trying to give him a shield because it was being fucky, but it was being
Hey.
fucky. So,
not. So just go ahead and delete that off there.
yeah, just ignore it.
Okay.
So, this screen you guys can doodle on all you want.
Okay.
It's blank for a reason.
We're not on blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in
Oh.
a tavern.
Ah,
Yeah.
fuck, how do I fix that? There.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Mobby.
Yay.
Now you can doodle.
Hey, Ty.
My old GM always said that if you draw something on the screen, they'll give it stats, and you'll fight it. So one session, one of our party members drew a massive, colossal-sized dick, and he gave it stats, and it fucked him up.
That's awesome.
Just to let you know, Mitch, your character is under characters. I couldn't figure out how to make anybody else's move to characters. So,
It's all good.
Reginald is hiding by himself in a little drop-down menu.
Hey, Titan. So
Yes.
I noticed that if I try to click Healing Word or Thunderwave, it gives me a pop-up of input value cast at what level.
Yes. You can start at higher levels. You can sacrifice a higher spell slot to make it cast
Okay.
at a higher level, so it does more damage. It has a higher DC, things like that.
Okay.
But for now, it's just one.
Yeah, it's always going to be one for right now.
Okay, I got
It's their way of trying to make it so that you don't sit there and go, oh, Thunderwave, shit. It's a first level spell. I'm a level 19 fucking bard, but it's the only spell I have that does sonic damage or whatever.
Okay.
It's their way of trying to keep it so that the spells always remain useful.
Mm-hmm. And even the non-leveled spells are pretty good. Like fucking the shield spell is +5 AC. That's insane. Guiding Bolt is still pretty good. 4d6 radiant. Like, it's respectable stuff.
Oh, I just realized. I never checked to make sure I never checked to give myself cast Bardic Inspiration. Shit.
It should show up already. Let's see.
Let's see if I can get my shitty rolls out of the way.
Yep, you have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong damn thing.
Yep, nope, you've got Bardic Inspiration. You can click it at any time.
Hold up. What?
Um,
Hold
Let's see here. SG, you have not figured out what your character looks like. You may want to get a token set up. If you have a picture, you can just shoot it over to me, and I'll put it in.
All right. Let me see what I can conjure up here.
You're a wizard too.
He's Bard.
That's a shitty joke.
I just usually pretend that you're being serious because that's often more funny than the joke you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what these two look like.
Whoa.
Oh shit, I think I found a winner.
What the hell is that?
Winner, chicken dinner.
The ugliest of Pepes.
Oh my god, I was playing some Hypixel and came across a rainbow fucking Pepe. That's gotta be like the most rarest of Pepe.
Fucking Barney.
And it works because I've also got semi-decent animal handling. Yeah, screw it, I'll go with that.
Really? And what's more with the middle finger?
All right, there you go. You now have your character sheet with your correct character thingamadoohickey. So, really quick, stop drawing for a few seconds. I got to put him into the cavern.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. All right, go for it. I just wanted to make sure because D20's got a weird UI.
Oh.
Honestly, it's got one of the worst UIs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So, last night I got super freaking lucky because I happened to be coming out of my sleep cycle. It was either 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. I can't remember. But I woke up just before a freaking Amber Alert came across all of my phones.
I'm alive.
You're welcome.
Hello,
Yay!
alive person!
I'm still at work, but I'm alive. Fuck the snow.
Okay.
Oh.
You snowed in?
No, it just stopped snowing like less than an hour ago. It's been snowing all day.
Ouch.
Fabulous. It was doing that practically all night yesterday for me. I couldn't go to my gaming store, which sucked. So instead, I worked on a campaign for you fools.
I mean,
We appreciate that.
I don't know if we're fools. We may be assholes, but I don't know if we're fools.
Assholes, maybe idiots, but fools, debatable.
I mean, you guys have allowed me to be DM. That's kind of foolish.
To be fair, Marissa let you be DM. I'm just chilling and finally happy about playing.
You know, I made sure that you and Marissa had slots if you guys wanted to come play. So.
I mean, I am playing, so.
Yeah. No, I know. I understand the hate of being a perma DM. I, however, have given up any hope on not being perma DM. So. All right, where are my stupid notes?
It looks pretty, right?
Here we go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
All right, are you guys ready for some fucking background?
Sure.
Sure.
The enthusiasm. It's so infectious. All right.
Look, I'm gonna have fun just cleaning off my car.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair. All right. So, you are here. Here's where you are. Here is the world. Specifically, you guys are near. More specifically than that, you are in the land of the Corwayan Coalition. And even more specifically than that, you are in the City of Wheel.
Okay.
Are we back in the tavern?
there's no point in that at this point because I'm going to be going individually and doing some backstory with each of you guys.
Okay.
And I refused to build a fucking background for each of you assholes.
Oh, it's lovely.
So, but to understand why you six are in a tavern in Wheel in the Corwayan Coalition on here, in the middle of a land of the void, we have to go back a bit.
A hole in the middle of the sea.
The tree hole in the ground.
I'm sorry, but that's all it reminded me of.
That was actually the point.
Nice.
So, we have to go back to the story of a gentleman by the name of Derek Lighthand. But for Derek Lighthand was a tomb diver, and a very successful one. He had many friends who tomb dived with him. All of you are connected to Derek Lighthand because your master, parent, mentor, the leader of your monastery, or maybe the guy who gave you a spell book and told you to get the fuck out, knew him somehow. But to understand the story of Derek Lighthand, we have to go even further back, to the story of Veliquin, the dethroned king. But for his story to make any goddamn sense, we have to go back to the beginning. So in the beginning, the void was dark and cold. Only the creatures between the stars could exist. Here resided the Voidborn and its children. But a spark was found and nurtured to flame in a forge. The Starsmith, born of the void, but in opposition to it. He took the flame and began his work. The flame became a beacon to those who would stand against the void children. With the Starsmith's help, the gods began to create a place outside of the void children's reach. First, the Starsmith forged a ball of iron to serve as this sanctuary's place. In the stars, she of the deep and the forest shadow created the land and the sea, each filling them with beasts great and small. The siblings swore to light the sky each day, and the quiet brothers swore to keep the void children away from the nights. The three remaining gods chose to forge beings greater than the beasts to stand with them against the Voidborn and its children. The Starsmith forged beings of silver for the three, though only if they would agree to help him create others. They agreed and set to work. The burned prince breathed fire into the silver golems, giving them souls. The tribune whispered into their ears and gave them language and traditions. Finally, the Raven King rested his palm against their chests and gave them laughter and mischief.
Can you mute yourself for a bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will try. It's in my coat right now, so you're going to have to wait a minute. Okay.
Happy with their work, the gods turned to help their fellows. As they departed, the Voidborn slid from a shadow and turned to the now quite living beings and spoke to them of the void, marking their lips to keep them from telling the other gods this truth. And so it continued, each of the gods creating a pair of beings of metals, speaking them to life, and then leaving. The Voidborn would follow them and speak of the darkness between the stars. Finally, the gods decided they had created enough, and cast these beings far and wide onto the continent between the seas. This land they named There, and stood above it as the gods should, preparing to defend it against any attack from the Void Children. This is the creation myth each and every one of you has heard as a child. The nine elder gods standing together and creating, though only 8 of them knew they were working together. So, this gives us the 9 elder gods of the world of here. In the lawful good slot, you have She, born of the deep, who is the goddess of water, protection, strength, and law. You have the siblings Baruch and Baruka, who are the 2 stars that the land of here orbits. Baruk is the elder brother, Baruka is the younger sister. They are the gods of light, life, good, and sun. You have the forest shadow, who is the god of nature, chaos, animals, and good. You have the tribune, who is in fact a three-faced god, being judge, jury, and executioner. And they are law, protection, and healing. You have the Starsmith at his cosmic forge, who is earth, fire, and knowledge. You have the Raven King, who is trickery, magic, and death. Even his most ardent worshippers do their best to keep away from his gaze. You have the Burned Prince, who is fire, evil, war, and strength. And then there are the quiet brothers, Arrow, Avric, and Aegeon, who are air, death, and magic, respectively. And finally, you have the Voidborn, who is destruction, knowledge, and chaos. Any questions so far?
Not so far.
Nope.
Are these in a document we can peruse later?
I will be turning it into a document that you guys can check out later.
Awesome. Thank you.
By the 9, this is deep.
Oh,
Yeah.
there are many more gods than 9.
I was making a Skyrim joke.
My 9 are better than their 9. My 9 actually built something.
Shots fired.
So, these are only the 9 elder gods. There's a group called the young gods, who are mortals who, through various deeds, ascended.
Goddamn.
And that leads us to the youngest and the most powerful of the young gods, Veloquin. So, the best way of becoming a god back in the day...
Back in my day.
Shush you. So the best way to become a god was an item called the chalice. Story goes, it contained the blood of the Starsmith. And if you drank enough of it, even a sip, if you were found worthy, you become a god. Veloquin's father, whose name has been lost to history, was the defender of this, and he had a great city that was meant to be neutral ground for all peoples. This wasn't common at the time because everybody fought. It was city-state versus city-state, and everybody was in practically a constant version of war. But, unfortunately for Veloquin and his father, a cabal of the high priests decided that a secular king should not wield that power. It should be kept under the purview of the church. So they gathered and made a coup attempt, killing Veloquin's brothers, sisters, and mother, though he and his father escaped. They gathered forces, and he gathered forces, etc., well into his mid-20s. His father died penniless and living on the dime of a distant cousin. Veloquin, not one to take this type of thing lying down, again began to gather an army. It mattered not what army he gathered. He just cared for whether they could wield a sword or not. So his army was quite multicultural for the time. Barbarian tribes stood shoulder to shoulder with massive mercenary companies. Exiles stood next to holy warriors. And they attacked the city. Which, again, the main name has been lost to time. Most people think of it as the City of the Chalice or the City of Ascension. And as the story goes, 50,000 men hit the main wall. 5,000 made it to the second wall. 500 made it to the keep. And 50 made it to the top of the tower. Veloquin, taking the chalice, drank the last of it, and began his ascension as his 50 surviving subordinates fought to keep him alive while he became a god. At the end, it is said that only 7 survived, and as Veloquin rose to godhood, he took them with him making them his choir of angels. There is, however, a story, apocryphal as it is, that there was an eighth warrior, a cruel and vicious mercenary captain who had served Veloquin since the beginning, was chosen to remain on that world, the world of Heyr, and protect the chalice from those who would attempt to fill it with God's blood and ascend again. Now, in a last-ditch effort to stop Veloquin's ascension, the Cabal gathered and stole out of the sky the youngest of the Quiet Brothers, Aros, and brought him down onto the city, cracking the continent in half and creating what is known as the Circle C and the Quiet Brother Mountains. This caused the end of the time of legend and caused the Age of Strife, depending on who you ask. The most common translation of the time is, the years where bad things happened. Nobody said the ancients were good at naming things. This lasted centuries. Nobody's sure exactly how long. But eventually it passed, and we found ourselves in what is now known as the Age of the City, which is where you guys are. It's been about, they think, 10 to 20,000 years since the end of the time of legend. And that brings us to our friend Derek Lighthands. Derek Lighthands is a tomb diver. Was. A tomb diver is those who go into the ruins of the time of legend, either through knowledge or pure luck, and gather artifacts to be sold to either private collectors or museums. Even now, a good sword or a good helmet that you can figure out the provenance of from that time is enough to set you up for life. And that's what Derek Lighthands did. He dived into tombs and stole everything alongside a group of allies. These allies are the generation before yours. So, who would like to have their story told first?
Not it.
Sure, Reginald.
All right. All right. So, Reginald, you are a wizard, which in this land is called the Speakers.
Okay.
Because magic is structured into four separate things. There's the word, there's the rite, there is the song, and there is the sign. Speakers often combine both the word and the sign. Bards use the song, and often larger rituals will require the rite. The speakers are everywhere. You got lucky enough to actually get picked up by a master rather than having to go through the whole monastery bullshittery that most speakers like. Your master is an old gnomish gentleman whose name is Osric. You'd say Osric's probably 500 or 600 years old. And he's been training you probably about 15 years at this point. One day, he seems to get a weird letter from someone you've never heard of. A gentleman by the name of, he keeps referring to as that fucking thief. And he eventually finishes reading it, swearing under his breath a lot, and then motions you to his desk. Yes, Reginald, I have a task for you.
Reginald walks over to the desk, of course. Yes, Master Osric. What may I do for you?
See, I have a friend is a hard word for it. Acquaintance? No, that's even worse. A gentleman I used to know, who I owe a favor to. He has requested that I get someone to come help his niece to go on a grand adventure or something similar. Are you interested in going on A search for what did they call the damned thing? Let us see here. The Vaults of Ukresh. So, you know for a fact that the Vaults of Ukresh are a big old legend. It's functionally the City of Gold. It's an ancient mine that was lost during the end of the Time of Legend. Nobody's seen it. Nobody knows anything about it. They just know that the greatest guild of the time claimed to have a vault in the mountains called Ukresh that they kept all their money in.
I see, Master. Original thinks to himself for a moment. He's quite learned. He's focused a lot on his books, his studies. He's kind of been wanting to get out of here. Maybe he's pretty. Yes, he wants to stretch his wings, let fly. So he'll humor his master. Of course, Master.
Good. Now, where did I put that damned letter? There it is. Grabs it. Functionally, shoves it in your hand. Take it. It tells you where to go. Apparently, you're supposed to go to some fucking inn. It's called the Three Steins. It's in Wheel. So you guys are in a place called the Port of Ether. It's about a 5-day trip by horse from Ether to Wheel. You know that Wheel is the economic hub of the lands of the Corwayan Coalition. So, the Corwayan Coalition is functionally the Greek city-states when they started to work together, but before they became Greece.
Okay.
It was they're at the Hellenic League level,
Right.
where they're all kind of working together. And Wheel is the hub city functionally. It's not the capital per se. It's not where all the smartest people are. It's not where all the
It's not where the point.
It's not where the military is, but it's the economic hub. It's where the rich people are.
It's where everything intersects.
Yep. It's got dozens of crossroads like the spokes of a wheel.
Okay.
So he shoves it in your hand. Good. Take it. Inside's 10 gold or something. It's here. And he gives you a small sack of gold. Use it to get to Wheel. It should be enough. If you have problems, let me know.
Understood.
And he just seems to forget you're there functionally, and he just kind of he gets out of his chair and just disappears into the forest of bookshelves of his home. A clear sign that he's done talking.
Reginald pats his spell book, which is always at his side. I guess he'll start gathering his things. He'll raid the kitchen for some rations, for some support. I get the feeling that maybe he's done this one, not this once or twice, but he's gone on collect this component from over here, kind of thing, like he's an apprentice.
Since you've been under Osric, you've never left the city.
Okay, I see.
Barely leaves his home at this point in his life.
Okay.
Huh.
You're pretty sure that Osric somehow has bound his soul to his house, and that's why he's a 600-year-old gnome isn't dead.
The house is a phylactery.
Wow.
It might be. You're not sure. You've never figured out how a 600-year-old gnome exists, since they're supposed to bottom out at about 300, and you're pretty he looks not a day over 150.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. So I have, in part of Reggie's skill sets, he's a calligrapher. Would it be okay for him to grab some paper, some inkwell, that kind of?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Take gold off. You're leaving it so your master isn't left alone without any writing materials.
Okay.
9
gold.
Osric is an oddball,
To say the
as you
least.
can tell. He's been a great master. He's a homebody, though. He's not really interested in going anywhere. So, yep, you're able to get some calligraphy gear relatively easy. You find some tucked in a corner that you're pretty sure he hasn't used in a decade. So you're 80% sure he's not going to notice. But you've had at least one occurrence since being his master where he's chewed you out over something that you picked up a year and a half ago.
Alrighty. Reggie gets together a kit. I
Alright.
guess very similar to Bilbo Baggins before he steps out at the beginning of Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring. He takes a deep breath. Sets out. First he hits himself with an armor spell because fuck yeah.
Okay. You're gonna be riding for 4 days. So, okay. You smack yourself with an armor spell. You take a deep breath, you sigh, and you step out into the shithole of the Port of Ether. Because you're maybe 5 blocks away from the docks, and it smells of fish and shit.
It assaults the senses.
Yes. Or, sorry, fish, shit, and salt.
Ow.
He's never had, like, a clogged nose his entire life.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Especially not since the day you found Osric.
Alright.
Alright, you step out onto the street and begin your journey towards Wheel. Alrighty. Let us go ahead and talk to the magical people of Monkey.
Ow.
I want to be at the monkey.
No, it would be SG next. I'm just going down by the,
Okay.
Oh.
So. Alright, Monkey. Or Mark Pound. Alright, Mark. You are a ranger. You've been out in the forests north of Wheel for a long time, probably 5 or 6 years under your master. A stickler for rules. Your master. Give me 1 second.
Achoo.
Aku?
A matata.
Alright. Your master is a centaur.
Oh.
So. Jesus Christ, give me a sec. No, I'm just like coughing and I'm dying here. Give me 2 seconds.
We're
Finding my
going in
notes. Notes are important. Alright. So, your master Ipol is middle-aged, you'd say? You know he's been out in the forest longer than you've been alive. And again, he's a decent master, a little strict, kind of a stickler for the rules. But otherwise, relatively fair towards you. So, you end up just kind of moving from cabin to cabin, keeping track of the trails, making sure none of them are falling too far into disarray. This seems to be almost a hobby for him rather than what he does for a living. And then one day, when you guys arrive at one of the cabins, there's a note. Ipol kind of sits there, reads it for a while, smiles a bit, and then turns to you. Well, Mark, we've got a problem. I've got an old friend in the city who needs some help. I can't go. How would you like to go?
Sure.
You don't sound very enthusiastic about it. Be your first actual adventure on your own, rather than sitting here talking to an old man. As I understand it, they're going to, what's the word, damn it? They're going to some kind of mine or something. Trying to figure out, it's a big treasure map that apparently my old friend Whitehands ended up finding. I think you might have a good time. And they could use somebody who's got an actual decent head on their shoulders.
All right.
All right. Yeah. I'll take your assent as enthusiasm, since you seem to be about as enthusiastic as a lamb at the slaughter. So he gives you the letter. It sends you to Wheel. You're about 2-3 days from Wheel. And again, it suggests you go to the Three Steins Tavern. So, what do you do?
Head straight there.
You're not going to get your stuff?
But I don't have my stuff already? What?
You don't have food and things like that. You've just arrived at the cabin. You haven't had really time to do much.
But like, haven't.
Okay, so you're gonna get food out of the cabin and stuff?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. You get your food together and you head off into the forest. Thankfully, the trail is very well marked because you guys have been working pretty hard to keep it that way. And you head on your magical way to the land of Wheel. You back,
Yeah.
SG? All right, SG. Or should I say Choir?
Sure.
Would you prefer Actorio?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with Actorio.
All right, Actorio. You are a recent addition to the Song Guild. Most people call them the Scions of Sargesh.
Mm-hmm.
You are not you're not a scion of Sargesh. Sargesh being a god who was once known as the god of murder,
Mm-hmm.
but it has recently come out, and by recently I mean in about 2 centuries ago, that he is the god of mystery and silence rather than the god of death and murder.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've maybe been in 2 or 3 years. For the most part, the Scions of Sargesh just tell you to go from place to place, be bardic, learn the song.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say that the song cannot be taught, it must be shown.
Right.
And so they give you a gentleman. Let's see. What shall he be? I'm tempted to make him the best Dragonborn whistler in the world, but Dragonborn don't have lips, so that ain't gonna happen. So, your master is a Dragonborn by the name of Tolok. Tolok, pretty young for a Dragonborn, since they live to be about 200 plus-ish years.
Right.
You'd say he's maybe hit his first century at this point.
Uh-huh.
But he's been with the guild for, you've heard people say, generations before.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been just pretty much showing you the lay of the land, moving you from place to place,
Mm-hmm.
teaching you the way of watching a room without looking like you're watching the room,
Got it.
which is important sometimes.
Right.
He's also been teaching you how to please the crowd. He's been showing you some of the... he's taught you a lot of the normal songs that you're expected to sing, like The Quiet Lady and Her Gentle Repose. Things like The 3 Shilling Whore is another big one that you get a lot of the time. Because it's a big drinking song, and it's something that everybody knows, and they can all sing it.
Let's sing
It's one of
along,
those...
y'all.
Well, it's one of those songs that each town has its own verse for.
Oh.
You know, you've got the basic ones, you know, The 3 Shilling Whore, She Went Through the Door, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But every town has a different story
Mm-hmm.
that they build with it.
That's cool.
And that's a lot of what you've been taught,
All right.
is how those all interact and fit together.
Right.
And how to fake it when you don't know the local verses.
Mm-hmm.
So, one day he just stops in the middle of the road. Kind of cocks his head to the left. Sounds like he's listening to something. for about a minute. Anytime you try and talk to him, he just holds up a finger and continues listening. Interesting. Well, my good man, it appears we are going to Wheel.
Why is that?
You've never... Oh, an old friend has died, unfortunately. An old friend, a very old friend.
Oh, how long would you have known this friend?
I've known him 40 years?
Oh. And
Maybe more? No, 50. It was 50 years. We knew each other when I was learning the song.
So has the song just told you that your friend has passed?
Yes, actually. It was a friend of a friend of a friend who fucked a friend.
Wow. There's a clip.
And their sister. It was a thing. Trust me, Light Hands and I got in a lot of interesting
situations.
I was going to call them predicaments. You have to remind me at some point to tell you about the time we mixed up the twin noble ladies during the wedding.
I should keep that one in mind.
But anyway, we have to go to Wheel. Or more particularly, you should go to Wheel.
And why is that?
Well, it appears that Derek Lighthand, my old friend, has set his niece up with a very particular little adventure. He gave her a treasure map to the mines of Ukresh. And I think that might be a story worthy of a song. And you're at about the right time within the Scions to go and write your first one. That's very rude. Why are you flipping me off? Anyway, insanity aside, I think you should go and find this story, find the song. You'll learn more searching for the song alone than you ever will me teaching you the bars.
Of course, Master. Sounds like an adventure.
Well, off you go to Wheel, find the Three Steins Tavern.
Three Steins Tavern. Okay.
It shouldn't be too irreputable. It's not like the Blind Goat or something.
Don't remind me of the Blind Goat.
Anyway, off you go. I'll make sure the Scions know you're going on a song search.
All right.
And remember, if you ever need help, don't hesitate to go to one of the guild houses.
Of course, naturally.
Now, off you go. Yeah, he literally shoos you away with his hand, with his big clawed hands, and then turns on a dime and walks the opposite direction.
I shout, "Stay safe, Master."
He seems to be like halfway through a conversation with himself at this point. You're used to that. He's always writing something in his head.
All right. Well, he's already gone. Might as
Yeah,
well
he
continue forward.
And you're on your road to Wheel. Okay, now you're just really trying to flip me off. All right, Micken.
Woo! Before you start, I'm actually very curious to see what you came up with for this. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right.
So you have recently returned back to your monastery after the county war between Count Granite and Count Quartz. You were on the losing side. You'll have to guess who lost. Totally up in the air. All you know is that every man who you talked to said, "We lost, and that means we don't get paid." You're pretty sure the other side said the same. But you have recently returned to the Monastery of the Cosmic Forge, which is just on the edge of the frozen swamp that they discovered you in as a child. or as an egg. You are quickly greeted by your old friends, Thomas and Philip. A short, fat Thomas being short, fat, and his skin color being the traditional Corwean red-brown, and Philip being tall, the granite gray of the Galeans, but he's never built the muscle most people associate with the Galeans. So he's very thin and tall, rather than the bodybuilder physique that most Gallians tend towards. But they're both ecstatic to see you, and seem somewhat embarrassed, you'd say? They're just kind of chattering like birds. Saying this, that, and another thing, oh, well, James ended up finally finishing that stupid sword of his. Now, if only he realized that silver isn't a good fucking sword material. Just, like, legitimately just the talk of the town kind of thing.
Right.
But they seem to be guiding you someplace. And it's not your rooms or the eating hall like you had hoped.
You know what? My character goes, okay, where are you leading me?
Thomas kind of shuffles his feet a little bit, stares down at the ground. Nowhere. We're not taking you anywhere, Litrix. Philip, on the other hand, just kind of smacks him and is like, the monk superior wants to see you. He said as soon as you arrived, we were to take you in. No food, no sleep, no service. But we were to be subtle about it. Now, shh! You can't tell anybody! Let's go. At this point, he's stage whispering. So you're pretty sure every monk that's within 25 feet of you guys just heard what Philip said.
My character just rolls his eyes like, okay, I won't say a word.
Yep. Thomas is beet red, stuttering, can't seem to get his breath.
Thomas, calm down.
What the fuck? Anyway, Philip guides you through, and Thomas kind of shuffles behind you, almost tripping on every uneven flagstone on the way there.
Okay.
And they lead you up a tower, down a tower, around. Nobody's really certain why the monk superior's office changes from place to place. There's no extra rooms.
He just changes location?
Yeah, he just moves. At random, he'll go, all right, this week I'm going to be in the basement.
Maybe he just wants to change the scenery every so often.
It's on almost a weekly basis.
All right.
Yeah, no, nobody's entirely sure, but most people think it's because he wants people to never come talk to him unless something's important's happening.
Right. Okay.
So, finally, so you're checking his normal haunts. You go up into the top of the tower and check out the reliquary at the top of the Belfast. He's not there. You go down into the basement right next to the kitchen where he likes to be. He's not there. Finally, you guys find him in the area above the stables where they keep hay up in the loft. And there's just a desk in the middle of the hay. And 2 chairs. And a lantern and a couple of other things that you've always associated with being on his desk. No matter where his desk is, these things are always on his desk. A goblinoid skull, an inkwell, some paper, and a small symbolic hammer, which is the symbol of the Starsmith.
All right.
He is not a monk so much as a cleric. He's not the, kung fu monk like you are. He's the much more traditional, shaved top of his head, wears the
Right.
brown robes kind of thing.
Right.
He's old.
All right.
Like, you'd say probably like late 70s.
Hmm?
And he's human, so he's
Wow.
old.
He's crunchy.
Yeah, a little bit. You're pretty sure he hasn't had to shave the top of his head in 30 years.
All right.
He looks up from what he was apparently reading, which looks to be a little small letter. Looks up, smiles slightly, and waves the Philip and Thomas away. They both kind of look at you over their shoulders as they go back down into the stable and leave. Yes, yes, yes. Michael, come, sit. I have things to say.
All right. My character just sits down. Is there a chair?
There is a chair that everything below the cushion is covered in hay. But the cushion and the back are not covered in hay, so you can comfortably sit on them without having hay up your butt.
All right.
But
I'll sit down in the chair, I guess.
Yes, yes, yes. How did the war go?
Honestly, I have no idea if my side won or lost. Didn't even get paid. So
That's normal.
honestly, I'm pretty sure both sides were at a standstill, so they both gave up.
That's
my opinion.
That's the norm. But good, you didn't die, which is the important thing. Now, how would you like to put your life on the line again?
Can I get more details here?
Yes, but I don't feel like giving them to you immediately.
I mean,
I'm joking. I'm joking. Now, I have an old friend, a gentleman I knew before I came to the monastery. His name was Derek. Derek was an interesting gentleman, but he was a good friend. He has passed recently, and I owed him a couple of favors. He, and more specifically his niece, I guess, are going to set up an expedition. They want to go on some wild goose chase based on a map he ended up finding 10 years ago.
and let me assume, Master, since you are busy here at the monastery, you would like me to go in your place?
Well, I'm not going to go from here to Wheel. That's very far.
Understandable.
So I thought perhaps you would be an appropriate choice to go to. Go in my stead. Be useful. Don't die. All the usual things. And who knows? Maybe the map's real. And if it isn't,
At
you'll
least
have
I've
learned.
learned. Yeah.
You'll have learned things. So what do you say?
I shall depart after an hour's rest here. I would like to at least catch up with my friend.
Go in the morning. It doesn't matter. You're going to be crossing us. He's counting on his fingers. 18 counties. You have to go all the way from here, which is for you as a player, the north side of Gorin, the land of stone, the nation of stone.
Right?
You'd say, if it was in America, you'd probably be like on the north side of Wyoming. And you're trying to get to Oklahoma City.
Got it.
On foot. Go in the morning. It won't make any difference. It's getting dark anyway. It's 4:30. It's getting dark. It's normal. I hate the north. Anyway, off you go. catch up with your dumb friends. Tell Thomas to stop tripping on things. If he keeps tripping, I'm going to send him somewhere that there's no things to trip on. I've heard the ocean is very nice this.
My
Off you go.
character can't help but grin.
He gives you an equally predatory smile.
My character then leaves the room, or should I say leaves the barn. And I just heads to his room at the monastery to gather his thoughts and figure out what he'll need to bring.
All right. After that, you spend the rest of the night catching up with Philip and Thomas, and, they gossip like nattering old hens, telling you all the amazing things that have happened since you've departed 3 months ago. Who's gotten laid? Who hasn't gotten laid?
And
Which girls are
smartass.
Which girls are putting out this season, and which ones have decided to be cold-hearted bitches?
And my character just looks at them like, I just got back from a war. I'm pretty sure everything I just went through beats everything you said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can win.
You
all
say
the
that, and that
time.
only makes them stop for about 5 minutes before they get back into the rumor mill.
And I just smile and laugh internally at everything.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
And in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, there is a large basket at your door. It's filled with food. And on top is the letter that tells you where to go.
That was nice of him, of the fellow monks. So I grab my basket, I grab my backpack of stuff, and off I go.
Burp, 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 burp. You've got about a month and a half of travel ahead of you.
Well, luckily I'm a lizard folk who's good at killing stuff, or at least hunting.
You are in a relatively civilized part of the world.
Okay.
If you went east into the frozen swamp, it wouldn't be so much. If you went northwest into the mountains, what they call the crag mountains here, though
Right.
they're still the mountains that are caused by the destruction of the city of the Chalice and the creation of the Circle C. They call them the crag mountains here. If you went northwest into that would also be non-civilized. But for the most part, you're functionally moving through a bunch of fiefdoms. Worst case scenario, you might run into a couple of guys who are too big for their britches. And think that because I'm the town sheriff of a town 3 towns over, his power is meaningful. So,
All right. And my
you're not
character is traveling on foot.
yeah, you're not going to run into a whole lot.
All right, and off I went.
And away you go. All right, Bull. Oh, and somebody has bleep blooped in. Hello,
That's
bleep
just
bloop. It's just Tex. All right, it is now the time for the Mister of the Bull. All right. All right, Bull. You are at the Church of Baruch, the god of life. He is represented by the sun. You have been there since childhood. You were an orphan. You got shuffled over to the church. They figured out that you had a connection to the god and the goddess, and they moved on. Made you a cleric eventually, and you've been slowly rising through the ranks. So, and then one day, not the head cleric, but one of the senior clerics pulls you aside into one of the quiet sections of the area. It's a side altar. It's where people want to go when they're being religious but want to be on their own. And he begins speaking to you. My good Echo, we have a need. Or I do, at least. An old friend has passed, but his debts have not passed with him. They've been passed on to a niece of his, and I would have need of your assistance. This niece has called for help. She wants somebody to walk alongside her on some errand or another. I never could trust. You could never trust what Derek Lighthands had to say about things. But a favor owed is a favor owed. I would greatly appreciate it, and so would the rest of the church, if you would clear this debt for us by accompanying Derek Lighthand's niece. Will you do it?
Why would you somehow have a debt with a questionable people?
I owe Derek Lighthands a debt because he saved me from certain death. An unfortunate series of choices on my part when I was a young man led me to be in a unfortunate collection of errors and put me at the less than kind hands of a group of cultists of the void. Derek Lighthands and a handful of others saved my life. I cannot do the same for him, but I believe you may be able to help his niece. They don't need an old man walking alongside them. So again, I ask, will you help them?
Could you pick one of the other clerics and not me?
Bull, this is getting your character into the party.
No, this is how you join in. If you don't want to play, then continue going how you are.
Because he'll eventually give up, and I'll just go build an NPC life cleric to replace you.
I know.
So,
Well,
if you don't want to play, let me know now.
Give me like 2 days. I just got back from.
Oh,
Okay.
you just got back from somewhere?
Okay. So, as you begin to agree, you feel you see a pair of hands reach out from the shadows. They appear to be gloved, but are covered in black feathers. They grab you by the front of the robe and rip you into the shadows, and you vanish with a snap.
There goes my
You
gear.
You are currently in the residence of the Raven King. So, since you want to take a little bit of time off, that is my way of getting you into the party later. So, if you just want to go ahead and go quiet and listen in and watch, that is totally acceptable.
Then 2 days of waiting for you disappear and do it in game time. Come on, no one goes for a party immediately.
Okay.
More like 2 days to recover, collect your gear, and then wait the armor immediately.
Who left?
Cat.
Cat did.
Hopping online.
Probably. Alrighty. But, like I said, with what I've set you up with, your character can come in later. The Raven King is a trickster god. He likes to mess with people. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, do you still have the link to the game?
Look, my computer's loading.
I
hope you do. You're in the game.
I really hope so.
Yeah. I don't assume, though. So, alright. Alright, give me a second to eat some more of my dinner, and we will get on to you, Kat.
Oh, the fun stuff. Okay.
And your uncle Derek Lighthands.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, shut up, Mitch.
Oh, there's Tex.
I'm going to have to put the horse down, it seems. I curse you with dragon's breath forever. What the fuck?
I don't even know.
There's some interesting shit here.
I got home and I have Lunchables in front of me. I'm good.
You got Lunchables?
What kind?
Look, I'm too lazy to cook shit.
What kind of
I literally had
What kind?
food.
Fucking chill.
You goddamn 5-year-old.
I am a 5-year-old. Thank you.
Chill, everybody. It's all good.
No, it's pizza.
Nice.
Ah, the most adult of the meals.
Yeah.
And then he hops in.
All right, cat. Or
Try and butcher that name.
What's the name? What's the name?
Sion?
Yep.
Oh.
Can't catch me. It can't fuck me up with fantasy fucking names.
I can try.
You can try. You'll fail.
SG managed to put them up on that.
Yeah, I know. I heard that.
Well, because he doesn't even know how it's goddamn pronounced. It's not my fault if the person who built the character doesn't know how his fucking name is spelled.
I trouble pronouncing Cure just in the moment, alright? I can pronounce it when I'm pretty calm.
Alright, so, Sion, you are a horse.
Yeah.
But you're not an average horse. Your parents were beast folk. And Bread, you have a twin brother. He's just a dude.
Yeah, I'm a horse and he's just a dude.
Yes.
He's a literal brony.
No, he just, yeah.
No, he's an
That's
act.
really-
He's a
No,
human.
he's like-
I'm a horse.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Basic bitch human.
Well, his name's Simon.
Yeah. At least it wasn't like John or something.
Well, it's Simon and Sion.
Yeah.
Makes perfect
Oh,
sense to
God.
me. So, your brother Simon does stuff. You're not really sure what stuff Simon does. He doesn't like to talk about it.
He doesn't
you
talk,
don't-
period.
He doesn't like to flip you off about it. Mock you with his hands and his sign language, something you can never do.
Fuck him.
But you swear your parents loved you equally. And they always love to regale you with the story of how they met. They met because of your Uncle Derek Lighthand. Uncle Derek was a guy. Uncle Derek was a bored guy. Uncle Derek was a guy who found a centaur and a beast man and went, sure, why the fuck not? Let's roll with this stuff. And took them on a great many adventures where they fell in love, found magic rings that they decided were good enough to be wedding bands, and had many kids. Almost all of them horrifyingly deformed and needed to be put down with the local crossbow.
Oh, damn.
Wait, what? This is the first time I've heard about my siblings.
You only have one sibling.
I had others?
No. Not anymore.
Oh god. There's the clip.
So I don't know if it's going to be loud or not.
Okay.
But that is besides the point. You went and became a cleric.
Yeah.
You found the God. You found God. Your brother didn't find God. You're pretty sure your brother would flip off God if God came down and said hi. Specifically, you found a church that was very oddly accepting of you. The church, a church that follows the god Solomon the Thriceborn. He's a young god. His story goes, he was born a bandit, found God, became a crusader, and then became a god. So he's a god of redemption, zealotry and faith. and you're a horse.
Yeah.
Who worships him. Because one of his main stances is, it matters not where you come from. You can be somebody useful. But no matter how much your studies kept you away, learning how to turn a book with a stick through your teeth.
Look, I figured it out.
You know, memorizing the book, the 5 books of Solomon. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, learning the 5 books of Solomon, the thrice book. Making sure you don't crush the other neophytes.
Because you're a horse.
Yes, that was implied, Mitchell. You've gotten by, and you've never lost contact with your uncle, Derek Whitehands. In fact, you've stayed in the city of Wheel to be close to your family, even though they've offered you positions in far-off lands such as Gallia, or even a diplomatic position amongst the hobgoblin, their city, that doesn't let people in very often. You decided to stay, because why the fuck would you go to a place where people are going to freak out that you're a horse, when you can just do that at home?
Yeah. Especially when I say hi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, by the way, I talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured.
So, and that's why you heard within an hour that your uncle, Derek Whitehands, had fallen out of a 4-story building and went splat on the cobblestones.
I told him to stop drinking.
Well, considering it was 8 in the morning.
I told him to stop drinking.
Yeah. Now, in spite of his rampant alcoholism, Derek Whitehands was a very successful man. He had spent his money well and invested it better from his time as a tomb diver before he broke his leg, causing him to end any adventuring. And he always talked, especially when you were younger, just a little pony, about how he had one last big score he'd always wanted to try for, but the breaking of his leg made that kind of hard.
Yeah.
So, when he died, he didn't leave you with the house or anything like that. He let his bastards fight over that one. Instead, he gave you and Simon, collectively, a small tube, or a pair of tubes, like those that you would carry maps in. In one was a map, covered in a strange, almost alien script that you've never really seen before. You're pretty sure it's old as fuck, but that's about as much as you can get out of it. And in the other tube, which your brother is very helpfully opening for you.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that my brother's not being an asshole about this one.
Oh, like he's like pointedly opening it really slow with his hand.
Oh yeah, no, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
But he's still doing it.
Yeah, I think Mom and Dad would probably kill him otherwise.
Well, considering you guys are both adults, maybe
Mom
not.
and Dad would still kill him otherwise.
So he opens it, and it reveals what you might consider Derek Lighthand's little black book. It's filled with favors that people owe him. Also his sexual triumphs, but Simon doesn't let you read those.
Such a good little brother.
I mean, you're the same age. You guys argue constantly about who's the older brother or sister.
Such a good little brother.
After he stops, making rude gestures referring to your anatomy and telling you to go fuck a bull.
At least I can talk.
And he signs, "At least I can jerk myself off."
Ah!
and in his mind, he's won that argument because he made you flinch. And let's be honest, he did a little bit.
Oh, God.
And so you end up with 5 sheets of paper. Maybe 6, maybe 8. You're not sure entirely. You're a horse. It's kind of hard to count when you have hooves.
Yeah, usually paper is my enemy and the bane of my existence.
So, but they're all like favors to an old friend who went and became the head of a monastery. Another friend who maintains the forests in the Northwest. You know, maybe his old wizard buddy who he got into weird shenanigans with. Or his old whoring buddy, bardic friend. And on the very bottom of the stack, that, Simon is kind of like holding in front of your face and flipping through them when you like stomp your hoof or tell him to move, is a reservation. That's, reservation for between 5 and 15 people, 3 to 6 months after my death. Signed, Derek Lighthands. P.S. If you don't do this, I'll find a way of coming back from the grave and suing you. Derek Lighthands.
Family.
Yeah, family. I mean, to be fair, he was getting buddy-buddy with that necromancer before his death.
Wow.
Anyway.
You're honestly just surprised he wasn't getting a lot more intimate with that necromancer. Seeing as she was female. Anywho,
You've got another cousin.
I will appeal
1 month's time.
No, the bastards are fighting over the house still.
All right.
All right. And so it's the Three Steins Tavern. It's a fairly nice little place.
I know, I've dragged him out of there a few times.
Much to the shock of every person in the room, no matter how many times you do it.
Yep.
Simon's usually there with you, like, trying to keep people calm. But the fact that there's a mute dude in, like, skin-tight leather with, like, just knives and vials on his chest.
Is he David Bowie?
No. He's got
That's sad.
whitish hair, but you're pretty sure he's a murderer.
Okay. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, he likes flipping people off a little bit too much.
But the fact of the matter is, it's not helpful when a horse wearing cleric's robes and bearing the sigil of the zealot, as most people call Solomon the Thriceborn,
Look, they can fuck off.
drag a drunk ex-tomb diver with a broken leg out of a bar while he screams, "No, let me go, you stupid bitch." And a guy in leathers with vials and knives crisscrossing his chest and a fairly nice-sized sword on his hip is just motioning like a fucking mime for people to stop being loud. Doesn't work great if you get my meaning. But you know that the Three Steins is actually a relatively reputable place. At least the owner knows of your somewhat unique background, though he may request a down payment to ensure that
Nothing that's destroyed.
there's always a small fear that you've noticed that no matter how well somebody knows you, they fear that you're going to shit on the floor.
Rude.
Like a horse.
Damn.
He's potty trained
So-
before Simon.
I mean, it's really easy when your potty training is just a very large stall in the back of the house.
Again, potty trained before Simon.
But anyway, so he may ask for a small down payment for damages just in case things get sideways. Otherwise, he's a relatively okay gentleman. So Simon takes these various things, writes letters to all of them, and sends them out into the wind functionally. His old drinking buddy, to Luke, couldn't be found immediately, so it kind of fell into the hands of a friend of a friend of a friend who fucked a friend and a friend's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. You're never surprised when a new bastard of Derek showed up. Ever.
Yeah. No, that's just how the family is.
You know, you don't hate all of your cousins, for lack of a better way of calling them. Like, about 2/3 of them are pretty nice folks. And they range wildly from the half-angel chick who's now a paladin following She Born of the Deep, to the half-infernal chick that refuses to tell you where her mother and Derek met.
Yeah.
You like both of them, actually. Like, legitimately, you like both of them.
And I also love when the new bastards show up and I just start talking.
And then you've been more than once surprised when they go, "Ah, shit, he fucked the horse." Ah, shit.
And I just go with it to see how long it takes them.
The acceptance that your uncle could have fucked a horse and somehow created a talking horse never ceases to amaze neither you nor Simon. If you would like, Kat, I can make an actual stat line for Simon.
Please?
So you can interact with Simon later.
Please? Because, like, Mitch and I were throwing him the idea of him being my steward.
Well, I decided the only way you could actually be a tauric horse like you are is in twins, and the other half has to be a human. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and time jump to the beginning of spring.
Yeah.
At this Three Steins Tavern.
Okay.
All right.
Now I need to find my notes. Where are my notes? Oh, would you like me to read the letter that Derek gave you with the map?
Sure.
My dear niece and nephew, in my travels I have found so many things that defy explanation, and rooms filled with horrors and riches. I said horrors, not horrors.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
But
I wouldn't be surprised if Uncle said whores.
He scratched out horrors.
Damn Freudian slips. But the adventure my age stopped me from pursuing sits in your hand. This seemingly innocuous map contains the only known reference to the lost vaults of Ukresh. To help you with this quest is my second gift. A few associates of mine owe me favors. Call on these men and women, and they'll send you allies. I wish you all of the luck of the gods and goddesses. Derek Lighthand. God damn it, no, I did not say horse. All right, the spring is in full swing when the last of you arrive in the city of Wheel, the economic center of the Kowean Coalition, a group of city-states with a common currency and similar languages. Kat, you and your brother Simon, who I will eventually build for the next session, having grown up in Corway, and specifically growing up in Wheel, know that the people don't speak the trade tongue very well, which is my version of common.
Mm-hmm.
So the few words they speak are kind of like a really angry person in like German who speaks only a little bit of English.
Rampo!
Well,
all I'm picturing is an angry Japanese man saying lamp.
a little bit shorter and a little bit more European, but they're not good at articulating things. So a lot of people, if you go to merchants and things that are meant for locals, will come across as very brisk and very short with you, almost to the point of rudeness. This is mostly because the languages of the Corwayan Coalition are kind of like melding over the last couple centuries. I mean, you have 4 different currencies that are being used regularly within Wheel. Still. Because gold sells fine, and so does silver.
Yep.
So... So, you guys all gather in the far corner of the Three Steins Tavern. Sturdy chairs ring a table bolted to the floor beneath, and refreshments have been provided. He was even nice enough to give you a small bowl rather than try and make you stuff your face into a stein.
Look, all I know is when I turn my face, what's going to end up happening is my brother's going to steal it.
Simon is not there tonight.
He wants to steal your bowl of mead? What?
No, if I got a stein.
Yep, Simon is conspicuously missing. But you have 5 new faces in front of you. Who are all staring at a horse, wearing cleric's robes, and wearing the symbol of the zealot. Go ahead and roleplay, guys. Y'all got to
Reginald can point his finger at something and a skeletal hand will shoot out and choke it to death. He's not surprised that the horse talks.
Who said I've talked yet?
Ah, that's fair. Little surprises him.
My
Well,
character says, so why are we here?
Are we going to a cave or something?
Yes, how about introductions first? I assume we're all here because our masters sent us this way.
That's what happened with me, literally.
Well, I should hope so. My brother and I sent letters.
Ah, so those letters came from you. Yes.
Reginald looks at the horse, nods. I'm not
So you're the
surprised.
one to blame.
I mean, you didn't have to come.
That's true.
Fair point.
But I'm here.
But introductions probably would be the polite thing to do.
Oh, indeed, good
Agreed.
man. The name is Reginald. I'm an... Oh, sorry, what am I called again? I'm a speaker. An arcanist, if you will.
Well, the monks named me Michael Littrets, but either or is fine by me.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
To be fair, I am Right. My mind is slipping a little for some.
It's okay.
I am a monk, as you can assume, since I said I was raised by monks. And previously served time as a soldier. Didn't make it far up the ranks, but still a soldier nonetheless.
Ah, martial man.
So as you guys begin discussing, and the bard is, there,
Okay.
you begin to hear the call of crows, maybe ravens, rooks, coming from directly above you in the rafters.
The heavens. He looks up.
All conversation stops in the room, and people begin to doing the symbol of the evil eye, just looking deeper and deeper into their steins.
This can't be good.
There's a puff of feathers, and a cleric drops onto the table.
Oh, Lord. Who ordered the table dancer?
Get off the table.
That's
We eat on
quite
here.
the introduction, I must say. All of us simply walked in here, and you're delivered by crows.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know what my brother was delivered by, but it was something, so this is really just part of the course.
Your brother.
Oh, by the way, is Raven King or Raven Queen, by the way? Titan, is it King or Queen?
It did.
Titan.
I'm sorry, my good man. You must think you're still flying as I hear the wind against your ears. What was that?
Sorry, my thing.
That's okay. Ready, you would drown.
Let me turn off my fan. My fan a bit too close. Is Titan there? Or is he somehow dead?
He's here, I assume.
No,
You're
you. Yeah, no, you are
Queen.
100%. You are awake. You are uninjured. You just got the wind knocked out of you, and you're covered in black feathers.
Is it King or Queen?
It would be the Raven King.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about. I'm not dating you. Stop doing this. Also, the monk they just need better security. God damn. Also, who here is Derek by any chance? Or associate with such person?
This will make
Or
for
they
an
owe me a
interesting
drink.
Fuck this.
I'm gonna go out here there for a second. Bull, I'm sorry. I have the hardest time understanding what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
Michael.
So,
I doesn't remember snow. Got it.
Sorry, Mom got home.
Oh,
Oh,
fair enough.
my character goes, well, that was an interesting appearance.
All right. If anybody wants to make an insight check or a religion check, you can. To go ahead and place the what the fuck just happened.
I shall try for
I'm
insight.
just cursing and swearing
Damn, I
for
got
like the
nothing.
next 20
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. So, it's a pretty low one. It's common knowledge. If you had rolled a 1, I would just assume you guys were, having a bad night.
Yeah.
The Raven King, also known as the King of Tricksters, the Lord of Death, and the one who snickers in the darkness, is just that, a trickster. He's known for kidnapping people. Seemingly at random.
Welcome back to the mortal plane.
Yes, well, I've never seen it.
Those who go to his realm have next to no memory of where they've been, outside of just the idea of being in a giant house that is only black and white.
Sounds like a level of Epic Mickey.
I mean, he does live in a tree, so. But even the most devout Raven King follower does not like to have have the Raven King turn his eyes upon them. It's considered bad juju. And so much so that most prayers begin, "O Raven King, he who causes all our woes, turn your eyes from me and turn them upon my enemy." Hence the reason everybody in the room started doing the evil eye. And doing their best to not be noticed.
If I may ask, why do they call it the evil eye?
It wards away evil. Because the eye represents illumination or understanding. It's old folklore.
Fair enough.
You literally saw people do different fucking signs depending on who they were. The 3 around the fireplace did a symbol where they tucked their right hand ring finger underneath their thumb and then blew through the hole they created. Things like that.
Most interesting.
Note, there is a way of flipping people off that is the opposite hand with the ring finger, which most people associate with the Corwean practice of wearing rings to show that you are married. You're functionally calling them a whore because they're not married. And so every time that Simon flips off Sion, he's doing that knowing she can't do it back at him.
Oh.
That's messed up.
Wow.
So
for it.
Yeah, he's good at running.
So, beyond the reappearing app, what is it we're here to do again?
Well, I just met a talking horse and just had somebody literally have a god drop him on my lap. Oh, well, what are we doing?
Yes, what the seven?
What is going on in
Not
this
the Game of
city?
Thrones universe.
I don't even know, because this isn't normal.
What does
I know that
classify-
much.
What does classify as normal around here, then?
Hi, I'm a talking horse.
And I'm a giant humanized alligator.
Can Reginald
Is it-
attempt to disbelieve illusion?
I think I'm in hell. I'm
Go
hitting
for
a
it.
talking horse. Am I in hell? What date is it and what year is it and what the hell am I?
Reginald just fucking looks at you hard and stares at you.
I just
Looks like a horse.
My character asked him, what were you doing before the lapse of memory, basically, before you ended up here? And right before that. Try and recall what you were doing.
Okay, before this I was trying to prevent advancement from the Raven King. Before that I got back from God damn it, someone owns someone dead. God damn it.
I want to roll perception on Bull to see what I can tell about him from what has happened.
I'm taking a female character to mention that.
Okay.
Holy shit, SG.
Wow.
She is a water deity, a cleric, wearing the symbol of the sun, Baruch and Barucha, which is a large orb with a smaller orb attached to it. Appears to be prepared for travel of some variety. And outside of that, based off of the swirling patterns on the leather boots that she's wearing, you would say that she is probably from the port city called Cove.
Okay.
Cove is about 150 miles from here.
Wow.
Maybe 200.
He has traveled quite the distance by crows?
I mean, it's shorter as the crows fly.
Yes, if your code is consists of a Raven King trying to advance on you, yes. Before I pull an out book.
What were you doing before you had to deal with the Raven King? Well, I was trying
What the
to
void did you do to attract the attention of him?
I just got back from somewhere. Then my mentor dragged me over to a corner, asked me to do a job because he's too old for it, and then I'm here.
So, just like the rest of us.
Actually, it sounds like you all know more about what you're doing here than I am.
You didn't get the letter?
All I know is someone owes me.
I got no letter. I was traveling with my master when all of a sudden the song told him to send me here.
There was a
Something
letter?
about a debt to an old friend.
Bull doesn't have the letter either.
Oh, that's right, you were abducted by a god.
It's hard to get the letter when the gods don't want to.
I'm slightly swaying the fact that how the hell does a god get into a church of sun?
You know what? My character pulls out the letter I was given by my master and just hands it to. What's your character's name?
Who?
One.
Bull.
That'd be Echo.
Hands it to Echo and says, "This is the basic idea."
It says, "My good friend, friend of my uncle. My uncle is dead. Ha 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 ha. My uncle says you owe him a favor. Either come or send somebody else to help us. Signed, Simon. P.S. He fell out of he got drunk and fell out of a window. No, he wasn't killed by one of his wives. So you lose the bet.
Your uncle seems like quite the man.
I asked to see the letter after Bull since it was
For sure we'll
read
read out loud.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Reginald, you will note that yours says nothing of the sort. Yours says, my dear friend Osric, I apologize for I am dead. I need help. Send yourself or one of your apprentices to assist my niece and nephew. They are going on a grand adventure, and I think it would do you or your apprentice well. Signed, Derek Lighthands. No, I probably didn't get killed by one of my wives. I haven't been married in 10 years. You lose the bet.
Nice.
I mean, he's got 6 legitimate children and 16 bastards you know of. He left the house to his bastards. He left his money to his children.
Okay, and my character, after hearing the other letters, like, well, the letters would be different they were sent to, but they all explain the same general idea.
The story
it appears we're here because of you. Horse lady, what is your name?
My name is Sion.
Sion. We are here because of you. At your behest, you would say. So?
More correctly, the behest of her uncle to assist her.
Yeah.
Indeed.
To be fair, my brother has all the tubes and everything else that has stuff in. And he was supposed to be here before you guys got here, but for some reason he's running late. Like normal.
Sounds quite dependable.
About that time, gentlemen, every ounce the assassin-looking motherfucker, vials, fucking leather hood, shows up, waves briefly while flipping off the horse, drops tubes on the table, flips her off again, and then wanders back to the bar while double fisting steins. You're not sure where the second stein appeared, because the last time you checked, both of his hands were full of the tubes.
Charming.
That's man. My goodness.
Yeah.
My
That's
character is
but
like,
that's your brother.
Yeah.
What are the tubes of? Or full of?
Your brother's
Unfortunately, I don't have fingers. You're gonna have to open it for me.
and one here.
A spectral hand appears, and
Are they all the same or different?
It is 2 tubes. Both are old, cracked leather map cases. They've got a leather strap that you could throw them over the over your shoulder. But you guys, even without a check, you can tell that you shouldn't trust that leather strap to hold more than about 5 seconds.
All right.
You're pretty sure it's been in a musty basement for a while.
very
Right.
delicately, Reginald will make some motions and speak some words of power, and a spectral hand appears and gently grasps one of the tubes and brings it to him so he can open it.
And as you begin to open it, inside, it's empty.
Bodes well.
There's one other tube sitting on it.
I reach over and grab the other one and open it.
There's a map. It's
Alright.
a really old map. Like, you're pretty sure it's not made out of paper, because the paper would have decayed since then.
Maybe a leather map.
It's nothing you've ever seen before.
Okay.
You
How
see-
about a trained calligrapher?
I passed it over to him.
You recognize, you don't know what the paper is, what it is called, or how to make it, but you recognize it as something of a similar material to one of the oldest books Osric had.
My word.
Specifically, it was the book that he chased you around for 3 days with a broom after you touched it and he found out.
My word.
All the while
Positively
screaming.
ancient.
All all the while screaming in Gnomish, you're pretty sure he called your mother a whore in at least 2 other languages, but you're not certain.
Does my character have any good view of the paper, or at least its contents?
Oh yeah, you guys are able to see it relatively easily. I'm assuming that Micken has put it on the table, so it can be seen.
Well, I got lucky with the last perception check. Damn it!
It's got words on it. You're pretty sure that the words, at least some of the words, are handwritten, and others seem to be almost typed, you would say. Micken? Okay.
Let's not just make willy-nilly checks here.
Stop.
Sorry.
That's the wrong one.
Pull out your bagpipes and
Something
begin to do a ditty.
Okay, I'll do that. I pull out the bagpipes and start a low song.
Great. But from what you guys could tell, the perception, from what you guys are seeing, it's a map. Micken, you notice a glaring issue with this map. It's of one continent. There are 2 continents. Near and far. This shows a single continent, about the size of both combined. You assume it's probably the continent there, which means this is pre the bad times map, because they stopped writing in that way for a long time after that. It's got a bunch of fucking symbols on it. It's got some handwritten notes in one corner, like somebody circled a couple of things. And you see something that, if you squinted your eyes and turned your head to the left, like spun around a few times so you were just dizzy enough, you could might say Ukresh up in, like, you'd say, like, the northern region, the central north region of the map.
My god, this thing is positively aged, this fucking paper. How is it? Original starts going off on a side tangent about his calligraphy skills. And how he knows that this shit shouldn't be around anymore, this has to be magic.
Look, all I know is that this is what my uncle was going after, and he couldn't because of his leg, and he left this to me and Dingus over at the bar.
I wish to ask, based on this thing's age, how did your uncle come into possession of it?
Look, he was drunk most of the time. I'm not exactly sure myself.
Alright.
So, my character pauses. Probably off of dumb luck by that point.
What's dumb luck?
When you stumble into good fortune.
Dick fast into victory. Literally, it would seem. He looks across at the horse.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. What?
no
my
matter.
Character, after one time, my character tells everyone, by what you told me, does anyone else notice that this map, that it looks like both continents in proportion, but as one whole continent, not 2?
Yes.
Now that you mention it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's glaringly obvious the second you really look at it that that there's no circle C, there's no jagged channel in the south, there's no broken channel to the north.
Is there like an X on it that marks the spot, or what are we looking at here?
You see, it's a bunch of like little spots that seem to be like archaic runes. You can't translate them. It's, trying to translate Egyptian hieroglyphs without the Rosetta Stone levels of shenanigans. It's practically impossible to read. But again, at the top, middle north central area, you see a word that, if you squinted your eyes, turned around a few times, and then cocked your head to the left, could say Ukresh.
Well, it appears to have some sort of heading, I guess.
Well, Ukresh is the mine that is claimed to be the city of gold.
I see.
Where is it in regioning compared to other landmarks we can think of?
Micken, somebody crashed a moon into the planet.
I forgot about that.
Any landmarks that you guys have ever thought of never existed before this.
We're gonna need some books. Some fucking old ones.
Alrighty.
And possibly a very good historian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a spell.
If anybody wants
Go ahead.
if anybody wants to give me a investigation check.
Reginald will.
I've got nothing for
And
this.
Kat,
Nope.
you will be at advantage because you are local.
18.
That's good because I'm at +0 for it.
I was at -1, so I didn't bother.
I was at 1,
Okay.
so I'm not bothering.
So, Kat, you know, Wheel has several libraries and even a university here. You've heard of there is a merchant guild called the Guild Torres that is known for gathering ancient tomes. They may be the right people to talk to in the come morning. But it might be hard to get into there. They're kind of quiet about stuff. And Reginald, you know much the same, except you know that Osric is technically part of the Guild Torres. Or at least has worked for them in the past. So you may be able to use that to lean on a guard to get in.
I might be able to get through on my master's name. That all depends, though. I say it's worth a shot.
Yeah, we don't have.
It's the only lead
It's the
we
only-
have.
I mean, we
Good
can
lead
we can
we
try all of those. My brother and I tried a few of the libraries, but nothing substantial with the map.
I'm going to take it as a obvious statement that he looks over at the brother. You didn't find anything with him.
He just kind of shrugs. It's obvious that in spite of the distance he's been listening in, he's still double fisting. He just kind of shrugs at you. You know, that kind of, I don't know.
Ah,
You're the
so
reason
much.
he drank.
How many sides has brother gone through at this point?
It's hard to tell because the bartender keeps grabbing the same one and refilling it. But the brother, you would say, has probably gone through 12.
Holy shit.
He
Is
must
your
have
brother
that-
part dwarf?
Okay,
Dwarves are not here. There is no dwarves.
That's right, sorry.
The group you would be thinking of are the
Did
hill
not
folk.
mention the boogeymen.
You did not
My
mention
character-
you did not mention the underfolk. You ended up mentioning the hill folk.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, he's double fisting it, and you can't even tell he might as well have been drinking spring water this whole time.
my character looks at Reginald and goes, it probably would be a wise idea not to bring the actual map.
Of
for
course, I was thinking
unwary
he'd give me
eyes.
some copies.
Mhm.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe copy down some of the markings on here and see if you can find matches.
Mhm.
Because this way it'll be less subtle. Be more subtle. That we are on a treasure hunt and no unprying. We will not have to suffer prying eyes.
Mhm.
A grand idea.
Yeah, my
how
brother and
how
I
hard
should
would it be to
probably
copy?
stay away from that because,
Well,
my
that's-
uncle was very
no
well
offense, but-
known.
I looked at her and go, considering he fell out a window, according to what she told us, I would be surprised if he wasn't.
Well, by anything, the fact that he's in possession of this item.
But hopefully we will come whenever we do manage to translate some of this. we will have a good place to start.
Alrighty.
As
With
it
that-
is, to the library.
With that, you guys go your separate ways for the night, tending to gather the Guild Taurus hub here in Wheel. Ka-click. Ka-click. And... Ba-doop.
What?
All the quills are scribes. You guys will deal with them in a moment.
Why are we fighting scribes?
We're not.
You're not... They're
Not
just...
fighting scribes,
talking
we're
to
killing
them.
scribes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just...
say
I'm
again.
I'm just showing where they are, my dude.
This is a big place.
Yeah.
It's a very big place.
It is a library. It houses books on bookshelves. It must be big in order to do so.
Alright. Alright, Kat, are you there? You have never been personally into Guild Taurus. You're pretty sure your uncle had very little to do with Guild Taurus. Something
Yeah.
about them being money-grubbing gnomes and trying to steal his gold.
No, I remember that conversation. Yeah, I'll join.
It would probably be.
Unfortunately, your
my
uncle
character-
was a horrible racist person often, but you loved him anyway.
I also say my character probably shouldn't be here because a lizard folk in a library.
It's not that uncommon, my dude.
Okay.
In fact, a couple of the
Hockey
scribes,
horse.
in fact, a couple of the scribes are fucking kobolds. So,
Okay.
you know, just kind of chittering at each other. Oh, come on. There we go. Click.
What?
All right, there is a guard. This is actually a doorway.
Oh, okay.
So there is a guard there. Just not really like, he doesn't have his sword out or anything. It's just a good representation. He's just kind of there. Watching the door, leaning on his spear. You know, it's a nice spring day, and he's kind of like occasionally looking out onto the street that's, you know, much cleaner than the street that Reginald stepped out onto in Aether. And just kind of sighs. But as you guys approach, he straightens up, kind of like resets his curious a little bit, settles his helmet on his head, and tries to look presentable, in spite of the fact that it looks like he's probably been standing there since midnight, and it's maybe 10 a.m. already.
So he's ready to just go sleep.
Yeah, he's ready to be done for the day. Right, what can I do for you? What you want?
Greetings. Myself and, by association, my compatriots seek admission to the library. I'm here on a sort of errand from my master. One Osric.
It would be Osric Silverfang. Don't question it.
By Osric Silverfang.
All right. Go ahead and give me a persuasion,
Sure.
Mr. Mitchell. But you do get advantage
Excellent.
because you sound.
6. He's a cocky wizard.
Right, listen here, you little fucker. I'm not going to start. It's my job to make sure that people like you don't come into the fucking library.
Here, I shall.
I don't care who your master is. I don't care who his master is, and I don't care who he fucked to get into a fucking master stage.
Wow.
You don't have a fucking appointment, you don't come in.
I shall try.
And what do you want, you fucking half-orc fuck?
Good sir, my friends and I seek ancient knowledge in order to translate some old writing we have found. We seek admittance to the library.
Right, that's good for you.
I didn't realize I'm not in there.
You rolled the wrong one, I think.
Yeah, he rolled perception, not persuasion. Try again, SG.
Damn it.
You saw that. Okay, that's a little better, my dude.
It's like from this distance, all the peelers look the same.
Try zooming in.
You could see like visible confusion on his face. Right. He kind of knocks on the door behind him. A head pops out. Right, these ones they want in. They say they want to translate something. But the fucking wizard's an ass. Talk to Oberix and see if he wants to talk to him or something. The young man just kind of bobs his head, also looking visibly confused. Closes the door quite firmly, and you hear like a very complicated sounding lock. Like you hear gears and fucking.
It sounds like a Green God's vault door.
Except more clanky, and you don't see the gears. It sounds almost like somebody's turning one of those kids' toys, where if you turn one wheel, it turns a bunch of other wheels. It kind of sounds like that, you know. You're
got it. Okay.
And there's a small window that specifically Reginald and Sion can see through. And they kind of see the guy shuffle off. And then kind of go through a door, kind of go off to one side. So, roll it. You know, the guard's still kind of staring daggers at Reginald.
Yeah, he's about to have a dagger through the eye, so he can look a lot better at it.
My character's watching Reginald and hoping to the gods and goddesses Reginald keeps calm.
He's keeping calm for now, but he's staring him down.
Question.
Answer.
How tall is Reginald?
6'3".
You're going to be able to see over his shoulder, if not over his head.
No, that's why I'm asking, because I'm just going to place my head on his shoulder and just sort of keep it there, ready to knock him off his feet if I have to.
What are you doing?
What
the fuck is there a horse inside the library?
Why isn't there?
Why the fuck is the horse talking?
Don't you live in this fucking town?
It's a big fucking... The fuck am I supposed to understand that? It's a big fucking city. Go ahead and give me a quick persuasion check, Cat. Or intimidation. If you choose intimidation... unfortunately, you just talked. So he knows you're not a horse.
Not just a horse.
Yeah, he knows you're not just a horse.
Okay, so what is it?
Go ahead and give me an intimidate or a persuasion. If you choose intimidate, you get advantage.
I will take intimidation because I'm at +4 with that without advantage.
Damn! Holy balls!
All right, what do you say to the guard?
And why aren't you a talking horse? Are you racist against horses? How dare you!
What an asshole.
I don't know what you're talking about. My sister's fucking a horse. I mean, a horse is fucking... I mean...
What a despicable person.
Don't you fucking judge me, you fuck!
But you just judged me.
She is correct, sir. You did just judge a horse.
Meanwhile, my character...
Like, he's, like, visibly getting more and more confused. And about the time he looks ready to just, like, either melt away or, you know, actually use that spear for something, you hear... And the door opens a little bit. The young man sticks his head out and says, "Yeah, hello. Yes, Oberix will talk to him. Yes, just you have to be quiet."
Unlike that door.
anything to get away from this racist. And Reggie starts walking towards the door.
Really?
You know what?
My character, as we're walking by, says to the guard, I apologize.
He's visibly still flustered and just like muttering to himself. Fucking horse talks and the horse is getting fucked by the man.
Reginald's gonna leave behind an image of himself that's just tut-tut-tutting. He walks into the...
So
this look of like sad disappointment on his...
You could just go ahead and pass through it. You just won't be able to pass through the bookcases.
I'm assuming we're going all the way to over here.
You will be, yes. So, as you guys go in,
I was missing.
all right, you guys.
for 1 minute,
Shit, my
another
bad.
Reginald
Let me get you in.
So I was a bit doing something earlier.
Boop. There you go. So, as you guys notice, several scribes bustle around the dangerously leaning bookcases and teetering stacks of loose books and papers, often with equally precarious armfuls of books. A handful of older men and women watch on quietly, occasionally speaking to each other in hushed tones. You notice that in spite of the fact that everybody is talking quite loudly, or is talking, the sound never really gets above a minor buzzing.
So, Titan, I know we talked about it before, but didn't say if we did it or not. How easy would it have been to have made a copy of the map on a couple pieces of paper?
Or at least the markings from the map.
Do you have tool proficiency?
Reginald is a proficient calligrapher.
Go ahead and give me a calligraphy test. Because these are...
Nope, not one.
That's not that
Doesn't
one.
know.
Nope, you're sitting there trying to figure out how the loopy double R with a line through the middle would be drawn.
He's just distracted by the paper, how old it is and how it's still together.
You're like waving it and shaking it occasionally, going, it doesn't break. But that's your whole night, and you just give up about 4 a.m. and just bring the map with you because you're just having a bad day. Also, you should be able to, in your character sheet, set yourself to not have advantage. I
just always have it that way. I take the one left. If you'd like me to do it the other way, that's fine.
Oh, no. I'm making sure because that was a thing we were juggling.
Okay.
So,
everyone else is doing it, so I'll just do it as well.
Okay. The scribe brings you guys to a very nice door. Right, yes, Obrex is inside the room. The door's unlocked. He said he'll talk to you. And then he, quickly bolts.
Hey, Monty, back up for a second. It'd be polite to knock.
Shouldn't you also not go through the door, monkey? Go through the door, monkey? Not the wall?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah!
They're knocks on the door.
Right, yes, come in. Just hurry up. I've got better things to do than talk to some ruffians all day.
Rude?
The first two people that come in are a fucking orc bard and a wizard folk monk. I would assume he'd call them ruffians.
Yeah, no, understandable.
Yeah. Not the worst thing I've been called.
So you kind of have to shimmy your way through the door. It's a little narrow, cat, but you get through easily enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of has well, he just has this long blink as you come in. Right.
We'll explain later.
Well, it's quite a long face.
Yes, there's
so
behind this.
So you're taken to a neat elderly man. He's human, in a surprisingly neat part of the library, considering the exterior chaos. So, head scribe Oberex is a short man, maybe 5.5 feet tall and 125 pounds. He is bald, and his red-brown skin is pale compared to any local you've seen so far. Here. His bald head and eyes sparkle brightly in the mage light of the room. That is something that you guys did notice as you weren't really paying attention to, but you did notice as you came into his office. There are no open flames anywhere in the building.
Would make sense.
Little small mage lights just kind of hover around the building, often following scribes rather than lighting the entire place up.
And it was Obrick, Master Obrick.
Obrex, yes. Can I help you?
Yes. We've come into possession of an antique map that we need help more or less translating.
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm considered one of the better translators here in Wheel, and the best one who stays here for any length of time. Now, where's the map?
Reginald?
Reginald reaches into his robes and pulls out the leather tube, and then uncorks it and pulls out the map.
He takes it delicately. Before taking it, reaches into his desk and pulls on a pair of very tight and thin, like you'd say, doe skin gloves, and then picks it up, and begins to look at it. Interesting. Yes. It's very old. It's pre-cataclysm. That's good to note. It's the original, which is even better. He lets go with one hand and starts to shake it violently.
Reggie does nothing. He knows it could probably take a tank blast.
You still flinch. You still flinch a little bit.
Inner calligrapher, yeah.
And then he stops and goes, "Not a fake. That's good. Yes. The paper in of itself is." He's just kind of moving it around in his hands. He's not even reading at this point. He's just kind of comparing it to the light.
He's getting a literal feel of the paper.
He's getting a feel for the map.
Yes. Well, I can tell you it's genuine to start with. It's not a copy or a fake. Or at least a modern fake. It may be a fake. It may be a pre-cataclysm fake. They were known for such.
I do think it is, or at least some sort of goose chase. But it's history nonetheless.
He reaches into the drawer again and puts on a monocle with several lenses over his right eye. And he begins looking. It's strange. Let's see. It's odd.
May I ask what is odd about it?
Well, it's got a guild sigil to it. Specifically the guild Hadric.
Why would that be of importance?
Well, the guild Hadric was a bank in the pre-cataclysm time. We often have records of them. What's odd is the language that the guild Hadric used was almost modern. You could translate it in maybe 10 minutes. This is not that language. And the other odd thing is there's a second maker's mark, I guess, would be a good word for it. I don't recognize it. It appears to be a spear or a shovel, maybe? Weird. Anyway, but the problem is it's not an actual Guild Hadric map. It's somebody who worked for Guild Hadric, because he sets it down on the table and starts pointing at the big sigil up in the top corner, which is 3 coins. You see, in the actual Guild Hadric coin group, it's 2 coins, and the third is a diamond. When they ended up working with third-party organizations, they would make it 3 coins to show that it was a
joint venture?
No, a lesser work. They were pretentious assholes, to put it bluntly. But that lends credence to it, because most people don't know the 3 coins sigil. May I ask, what is it supposed to be a map to?
We have no clue.
My character looks over at... How do you say your name, Cat?
Be Sion.
Sion.
Sorry, I forgot I switched over to push to talk.
Ah.
My character looks over at Sion and says to the master of the guild, you would have to ask our talking horse friend here.
Oh,
It is her possession. Yes.
Oh my.
Yes,
It's
and she
her-
does have a name.
Well, hello there.
I
Theon.
apologize, Theo.
Well, hello there. What is this a map to? My equine friend.
My uncle had given it to me on his death. You know, the drunk man that fell out of the building.
Which one? There were 3 this week.
No, last week.
Oh, Derek Lighthand.
Yes.
I think he still owes me. I think he still owes me 20 gold.
You're gonna have to talk to his sons about that.
I'd rather not.
Understandable.
Anyway.
So yes, so it's
But
Derek
he-
Lighthands.
Yes, he stated that it was his last adventure that he couldn't go on. Something about a place where gold was stored before the cataclysm.
It's a map to the mines of Ukresh.
Yes.
That old wives' tale. I never thought somebody like Derek Lighthand would be interested in such a stupid thing.
Like,
To
beside...
be fair, he was drunk for most of the end of his days, so...
To be honest, even in the times before the end of his days, he was mostly drunk. It just seems to be where he liked to be. But okay, so it's he kind of like grabs a knob on the end of the fucking his little contraption, and it like you just kind of hear it ticking.
And the lenses rotate, I assume.
No, there's no noticeable change.
Huh.
And he picks it up again, and he starts looking, and it's like, I suppose it would make sense that the bank would have a giant mine filled with gold. It at least makes more sense than that it was the underfolk or something equally stupid. Well, you've got my curiosity. If you night, I might be able to get you at least a start of a translation.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Reginald speaks up for the horse, who's not talking. Thank you, Master Ulbrich. Much appreciated.
Again, it's not Obrick. It's Oberex. There is an X in that in my name, and I would appreciate you use it. But otherwise, yes, I should have something for you in the morning. I suppose now would be a good time to talk about my payment.
Currently, I have on me 10 gold. I'd be willing
And
to give you...
how much would this payment be?
I do tit for tat. You give me I make a copy of the map, and you give me the original.
On one condition, you allow us to compare the two to make sure nothing has changed.
Michael, this is not our map.
Yes, it does.
Just speaking my opinion.
The horse lady's there.
Good point.
Well,
I am sorry.
Well, while he brings up a good point, it does belong to the horse. It's her call.
As long as it is locked safe in here, as you keep the original, and we do compare to make sure.
How rude of you to assume I would make a movie of such an important, possibly, map by faking one. Yes, fine. I'll keep it in my cupboard in the back.
It is also us that are taking the copy, not you.
Yes, fine. I will make sure you can look at it in the morning. Now, get out. And leave my god alone. The scribes are already laughing at him.
You should, the racist prick.
My character looks over at Reginald and is like, really? You had to make the situation worse.
Oh, he's fine.
Character starts
Yeah,
toward the door.
your minor illusion has long since.
Oh yeah, only lasts for a minute. But that whole minute, it was just tutting the finger back and forth, looking, shamefully sad and shaking his head.
My character thanks the man, and off he goes.
All right. So, do you guys want to go back to the? Do you want to go back to the Three Steins, or you guys kind of want to wander wheel a little bit?
Before Reginald leaves, as he was watching the man, he'd like to see if he's being truthful. Is he trying to pull the wool over our eyes? Is he going to make a false copy? Is he
Reginald
honest? What does he want?
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
Oh, do that too.
He's fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah, no. In fact, the longer you stare at him, the more you realize he is legitimately insulted by you assuming he would do anything less
He's actually
than
the god of truth and honesty here. He's an avatar.
You didn't roll nearly low enough to do that. Yeah. No, well, he's on the up and up. You've functionally stopped existing to him already. He's left the room as soon as most of you left, and he's already at a bookcase pulling things off the shelves.
No, I shall not do that.
You know what? I was gonna say my character would like to go visit some toolsmiths. See if I can find something for later.
Okay, go ahead and give me an insight check, because you've never been here before.
Well, I assumed... Let me rephrase that. Theon, would you be nice enough to point me to a toolsmith around town?
He's somewhere up the main road.
What would she have?
All I know is the blacksmith.
Note.
I'm going to have to get that changed.
Yeah, you know the farrier. And note, there are 8 main roads in Wheel.
Okay, and then...
Which one goes to a church?
Okay, rephrase again. Do you know where a blacksmith is? He would probably point me in the right direction.
As Reginald passes this guard, he'll say, "Michael, you may wish to ask a god. Not this one, of course, he's racist." And leaves another illusionary image behind, doing the same thing as he walks by.
My character just puts his hand on his forehead and goes, "Really, man?" Really?
As you were leaving, if you look over your shoulder, you see him, punching the fucking illusion while muttering to himself in...
The illusion grins and smiles.
In Corwean, a language you do not particularly speak. You speak mostly the trade tongue and Elven.
Before the guard hurts himself, I walk over to him.
Well, no, he knows it's not. He knows it's not real.
Oh.
He's getting his annoyance out. So, all right, Micken. So, Sion Simon just kind of pops up next to you as you guys are leaving.
Hi, Dingus.
God, it's like he's talking to me.
He signs something to the level of, "I was in the rafters in case I needed to set the building on fire."
Oh, no,
No talk of the F word in here.
Fuck?
My character looks at all of you and
None of you guys, except for Sion and Simon, speak sign language.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gesturing wildly.
But
as far as you could. Yeah, don't say the F word. And he just signs something back, and she looks at him.
So is Simon a mute then? Something?
Yeah.
Yes, because she's a horse that can talk. He's a human who can't talk.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I roll to go find the blacksmith?
Go ahead and roll an insight. Don't fumble. You didn't fumble. You didn't fumble. You were able to find one relatively easily.
All right.
It's a large, gray-skinned gentleman from the nation of Gallia. Gallians are the tallest of the normal humans, have skin the color of granite, gray granite, eyes the color of emeralds, and hair the color of spun gold.
Right.
Why are we talking about Rumpelstiltskin?
It's one of the races.
Ah, okay.
I don't have white, black, Asian type of mentality.
No, understandable. No, I just got really confused because like one of my books describes him exactly as that.
Well, I don't think Rumpelstiltskin is described as 6.5 feet tall and covered in working muscle.
Come on.
I mean, you'd be surprised at what my books say.
I mean, depends on the book you're reading, hon.
I don't remember. And it's not I Am Rambrand's Daughter. It's a different one. It's been a while.
But, so he's a very tall gentleman, skin the color of gray granite, thick blonde beard, and a big smile on his face. Hi there, what can I do for you?
Yes, I'm looking for, probably for where I'm going, a very strong iron chisel.
You want a chisel?
I'm
Well,
not
iron's
sure-
iron's not a very good chisel. If you want a good one, it would have to be probably steel or mithril, but I don't got any mithril ones.
Steel will be fine.
All right, well, let me look around. And he kind of like disappears into the back, and you hear rattling. And then a crash. Like somebody dropped a bunch of like spoons.
That was a good blacksmith shop should.
Yeah.
Are you alright back there?
I'm fine, it's fine. Goddamn wife put the stuff on the top shelf again. Let me tell you, never marry a hill folk. Fuckers are tall. Alright, and so he's just kind of like muttering to himself, chisels, 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 chisels. Cutlery, no. Clamps, no. Chisels, there we go. No. Too big. Too small. Why is this in here? Aha! And he comes back out. It's a chisel. It's maybe 9 inches long. Wrapped in leather for the first 5 inches. And then it's got a decent head on it. It's obviously decent, mild steel.
Right.
And he puts it down on the table. 2 gold.
Fair enough. I give him the 2 gold. That puts me at 8.
Yep.
And now I have a chisel for when, if we do find this place, I can at least see if there's any gold in the wall. If it is an actual mine, I can at least break off some of the gold.
Nice. I love the future thinking.
Nice.
That's
our
this session might end. What is it? We've been playing 2.5 hours already, so
Yep.
we're actually
How do you
making
spell
decent.
chisel? Oh, found it.
CHISEL. Chisel. So, all right. And, you just kind of leave. He waves, still smiling. You kind of hear him turning around and clumping off into the back to clean up. Anybody else want to do anything before they return to the 3 steins?
Couldn't find a church.
Okay, you're looking for the church of your church, the local church of Baruch.
Yes.
Okay. You're able to find it easily enough. Baruch being one of the great gods. You find a cathedral to the siblings pretty easily. You're greeted by a short, kind of gnomish gentleman. He's kind of fat. Hello, what can I do for you?
I need to get some books on some stuff.
Well, okay. Come right this way. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check really quick. Don't fumble it because you're wearing the right equipment to be the right person. But go ahead and just give me a check really quick anyway, Bull. Okay. He's totally fine with it. All right. Well, come on. I've got to take you to the library, to the head cleric anyway. Yeah, he's the one with the library. And he just kind of trumps off, You'd say he's almost like skipping. He's a very jolly gentleman.
Skippity-doo-dah, skippity-day.
Have you ever seen a midget skip? It's hilarious.
I gotta look this up now.
And he's a fat midget and he's skipping. He takes you to the head cleric. The head cleric is pretty comfortable with it. And then, he is an elf. A tall, slender elven man. Yes, can I help you? What do you want?
I need to get books on what the I can't know this shit. Pretty much books about the map.
Oh, you
On the
mean
place.
books
you want-
about the city
Yeah,
No,
pretty much.
or the
You
bank
want-
or
You
whatever?
want books on the map.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, or anything about it. City, map, old time, anything about it. Frontier, anything.
Right, so you want books on the pre-cataclysm, yes?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what we've got in the... Let me see. He motions you to sit, and he disappears through a door that solidly closes behind him. You sit there 30, 40 minutes, and he comes out with, 2 books. Unfortunately, all we seem to have is, and he opens it and it reads the front. Agriculture and You, a Dummy's Guide to Baruch's Son. I don't think that's very helpful. And 655 Ways to Jerk a Goblin. Again, I don't think that's very helpful.
Wow.
Unfortunately, those are the only
That's my next
2
clip.
pre-cataclysm. Unfortunately, we don't have very many pre-cataclysm books. Wheel was founded many, many centuries after the... If you find any, I'd be happy to take them into God's light. But we don't have many here. Those are the only 2 that are even remotely understandable. So I'm very sorry, but we don't have anything. I'd be glad to give you a bed, since you seem to be one of our traveling clerics. If you would like that.
Do make sure you don't get another god appearing in this place. I don't like it.
Well, we want we want the gods showing up in this place.
Yes,
It means that this
you
is
do not
properly
want the
holy.
Raven King showing up in your place. I end up here because the Raven King decided to be a dick.
Hi, Ecclesiarch. Have you heard the good news about the warp?
Fucking heresy.
Full.
He
Walked into a church and said Satan kidnapped you.
No, they did not say Satan kidnapped me. That would be the Voidborn. The Voidborn is Satan. No, what you functionally said is Loki hyped up on fucking meth with a penchant for destruction kidnapped you.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna need a quick persuasion check, Bull.
Well, I wouldn't have said
that. You what, you fucking filth? The Raven King does not walk amongst the children of God. Get out of my office right this fucking second before I fucking strap you to a goddamn cross and put you out in the sun where Baruch can see your filthiness. Get out now.
Wow.
Wow.
That was a turnaround.
Good job,
Real quick.
Paul.
That was a shitty persuasion
Well,
check.
that's something you probably shouldn't bring up.
The cleric who brought the fat gnome who brought you in kind of grabs your hand and just starts frantically pulling on it.
I'm gonna walk up. Could I have your name so I could write a letter?
I really wouldn't. See, I wouldn't. That's the High Ecclesiarch. The letter would just go to him.
Not for this place.
And he'd just get mad at you. I don't think it's a good idea. No, he is the Ecclesiarch. You don't understand. For the continent, he is the man.
Interesting.
Please don't mention. Do not mention him. No one wants his eye upon us. Stop.
Bull, just stop.
Boy, you're already in a hole. Stop going deeper.
As soon as you
guys,
start
they're
saying the word raven, the gnome covers his ears and
Oh yeah, fair enough. I keep forgetting that.
and he still escorts you out the door and shoos you away.
Sorry.
That was funny.
Wow.
To note, Bull, your 8 was beaten by a natural 20
Ouch.
to see how
Yeah.
poorly he would react.
Wow.
On a scale of 1 to 20, how poorly did he react? A 20.
Damn, gets rude.
Amazing.
Well, maybe
Okay.
don't say anything about that.
Anybody else want to go?
Disagree.
Anybody else want to go on an adventure before the 3 stop?
Yeah, does this city have a guild for the people of the song where I could?
Okay,
They-
yes,
they
you're looking
go-
for a Scion Guild Hall.
Yeah.
Yes, you can find that easily enough. There's Scion Guild Halls in practically every city
Oh.
that has the right to call itself a city. So, okay, you go to the Guild Hall. You are greeted by a bubbly female elf. Hi there. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm new to the city on a adventure. Let's say, are there any good local songs that I could learn while I'm here?
Of course, there's always a bunch. It's let's see, what do we got? Do you know the woodsman in his wood?
I do not believe I do.
Go ahead and roll me a perform check to see if you do.
Performance.
Yeah.
Performance.
Round
You
one.
know the woodsman is
Oh, damn it!
Other P.
the other
It's
P,
still,
my dude.
there you go.
Gee, are you
I hope my heart.
Yeah, no, you know the woodsman in his wood. You even know the 3 verses that only the people of the former empire know, which include talking about the woodsman in his wood with the emperor's wife. Shoot, what else ones? Do you know the silversmith and the silversmith's wire?
Let me
Give me a
think.
performance check.
Let me think here.
You know most of it, but you don't know any local lines.
I do not believe I know the local lines for that one. Are there any?
Great! Come on, let's go look at the books. And she just kind of like, the only word you could properly describe how she moves is flounce.
What the hell is that?
She kind of bounces and flutters. Like, have you ever met somebody whose personality is so fucking bubbly you're surprised they don't rise to the roof?
Maybe.
This is her.
Wow.
Wow.
She's chatting with you. She's talking to you like you're an old friend who just left for a few days.
Oh, she's one of those.
Like you are her new best friend.
Well, this could be useful.
There's laboratory DD pop in my head. Just without
Except that
destroying
this lady
stuff.
sounds a bit more palatable than Dee Dee.
True.
Yeah, no, you're her new best friend in the kind of way that everybody is her best friend.
Yeah.
And everybody likes her because she's got that kind of personality you can't not like.
Right.
She's not like ever rude or mean or aggressive towards you. She's just very there and bubbly. And it's infectious. You
Okay.
watch people who seem to be kind of stressed look up and smile as she goes by. Kind of thing. She is a bard. She has a 20 charisma, my dude.
Holy shit!
Oh,
She is-
crap.
She is high charisma, low intelligence, dude.
Okay, so bubble-headed.
A little bit.
But
I go with
bubble-headed.
bubbly. She's a little empty-headed, but she's not Valley Girl empty-headed.
She's living
She's the
embodiment
lovable
of
type of
sparkling
empty-headed.
water.
Yes. But she's just, she kind of flounces over to a few bookcases that are filled with obviously handwritten journals and notes and stuff. She grabs one, she grabs you by the hand and just like pulls you to a table and you guys both kind of sit down and read. for a while.
All right.
Anybody else?
– Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead
What do you
and
want to
pay
do,
for it.
Reginald?
God.
Like in the character backgrounds and stuff, I chose the guild membership for a calligrapher's guild. Could that be like a? Could this be how like Reginald gets his membership through the what are these people called from the
This is the Guild Taurus.
the guild Taurus?
Yeah, Taurus. Toress.
Toress. Do they have branches in other cities as well, or is it just here?
No, they are a very large merchant guild.
Okay.
Most of the books you passed have nothing to do with anything except keeping track of mercantile prices across the nation, across the continent.
Okay.
And that's why so many of them are just kind of cast around, because they're last year's and they're meaningless now.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I'd be careful about that, Bull.
As long as he doesn't talk about the Raven King, most people are just not going to care. Wheel is a metropolis. It's got almost 150,000 people living in it. It is a huge fucking city.
Monkey said something.
Yes. Monkey, we will get to you when I am done with Reginald.
Okay.
Cool? So, Reginald, you are Calligrapher Guild. The Guild Taurus is not a calligraphy guild, it is a merchant guild.
Okay.
However, you could talk to the local to one of the local calligraphy guilds and see what they've got to say.
Okay, yeah, he'll do that.
All right, so go ahead and give me an insight, and that'll really just determine which guild you show up at.
19.
Okay, what was you end up at the guild B.S.this. It's well kept. It's not a big building. It's like kind of a middling-sized house, you'd say. You know, maybe 2 or 3 dozen rooms on the high side. But it's obviously also like a satellite site for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to just kind of do its thing.
Okay.
But all the same, it's well kept. The lawn in front of it and the trees are all very neat and tidy and obviously landscaped. There's a door with a knocker and a clear path to the front.
All right, he'll go there and use the knocker. Does he have some sort of like membership ring or a letter of reference or something? Actually, yeah, he does. That's part of his backstory. Sorry.
Yep, no, it's always good, my man. So, yeah, you've got your symbol. Your symbol notes that you are an apprentice under Osric, who is just a member of every guild, as far as you can tell. Okay. Osric has never found a guild he wasn't somehow able to join, even if it's actively a rival of another guild he's already a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You watched him one day literally go door to door and go, "Are you a guild?" "Yes." "Interesting. Can I join?"
This old man. I love him. Then yeah, he'll use his thing under Osric to get in.
All right, about the third knock, a short little kobold answers the door. "Yes? What do you want?"
Greetings, I'm seeking admittance into this guild for research purposes. And he pulls out his piece of paper that shows he's a member.
It takes it, shakes it, looks at it in the light, licks a corner.
Smells
okay. Yeah,
And
he folds it way neater than you did. Come. And like he just like skitters. Like you cannot describe it any other way.
Just skitters away.
No, he skitters slow enough for you to keep up.
Oh.
He walks like Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
So it's not often that we see any of Osric's here.
Well, it's accurate to say he's not seen one in quite some time himself. I believe I'm one of his newer ones the last few decades.
Right, my master saw one. He counts on his claws.
Few and far between.
47 summers ago.
Good.
I think his name was William. Sumter. I think he died. Oh, well. And he just keeps going. So what do you want?
Just seeking tomes, that's all.
Well, what kind of tomes? We've got tomes about merchants. We got tomes about writing. We got tomes about, we got picture books.
After knowledge of the past, my good kobold. Knowledge of the past. I need the history tomes.
What kind of past? Do you want the past of Wheel? Do you want the past of the Corleana Coalition? You want the past of the war with the Nation of Stone? Do you want the past of merchant
Looking
trading?
for the past where the continent was whole. If we have any of that.
Oh, that past. That's past. Let me see. And he skitters off. And it's about that time you notice that there's nobody else in the house.
Oh.
There's no one. Just you and the kobold. In this big, empty house. Like, it's not creepy or anything. It's well lit. Everything's clean. But you don't see a single person.
Like,
what is a calligraphy guild?
But you would normally associate the calligraphy guilds you saw at in the Port of Ether usually had like 5 or 6 apprentices and a handful of people who were learning calligraphy, usually like rich merchant sons or minor nobility. There's no one. There's the tables for them, and it's all arrayed and all neat and tidy, but it looks like people are ready to come at any moment, but there's nobody here, and there was never a time.
It's a big ghost town.
It's maybe 11:30.
Master Kobold, the table is set, but I see no one in this building.
He's gone. He's like searching for books.
I'll have to.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, it's past," and he disappeared into the books.
I'll have to ask him about that later.
So maybe 5 minutes goes by, and he skitters back up with like a backpack of books. You're not sure where the backpack came from. He wasn't wearing it when he left. Okay, I found books about the time before the Cataclysm. Right. This one's about how to make stew. This one's about herbology. This one's about funguses and the funguses that grow on your feet.
Are there any translations of it?
Oh, these are all translated.
Are there any in the original text that I could compare?
Yes. Jig's like, the backpack's maybe 1.5 feet deep. He reaches his whole arm in, and it's like his head is inside practically.
How big is the backpack compared to this dude?
Well, kobolds are about 3.5 feet tall, so it comes to maybe his sternum.
I mean, I think we know what this is, but would Reginald know, or should I roll Arcana?
Reginald would not know off the top of his head. Magic portals like this are not super duper common.
Okay.
He may have heard. If you want to go ahead and give me an Arcana check,
yeah,
we'll see how well.
22.
Damn! Holy shoot!
Master Osric was practically trying to teach you how to do it. You just had no skill in enchantment. You know what you know what he's doing, and he just reaches and you can tell he's feeling around. There we go. And he pulls out a ratty looking red leather bound book. Love poems. And then he reaches in again and pulls out a slightly less ratty looking green bound book. And translation.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a calligraphy test.
23. I'm loving the use of the calligraphy.
You open the books, you look at them. In seconds, you realize that, no, this has nothing to do with the language that you're trying to translate.
Shit.
Also, this is not love poems, this is smut.
So, sparky writing, okay.
No, this isn't...
Their way with it.
This is straight erotica. It's not, like, chintzy or anything. It's...
Oh,
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, no, this is leaps and bounds above 50 Shades of Grey.
What is your name? I don't wish to just call you Master Kobold. What is your name, sir?
Cobalt!
Go figure.
Your name, though.
It's Cobalt. Q-U-O-B-U-L-D. Cobalt.
Do you work here?
Yes! It's my house!
Fucking
And
insight that
master!
shit. 12.
Its left eye just slowly
Twitches.
moves off to the side. It moves off to the side when the other one just stays in the same.
You see some raven feathers fall from his robe or something.
Like he kind of like shakes his robe that's kind of bunched. It's obviously meant for a larger creature, and he straightens it, and there's a big fucking guildmaster sign on it, sigil on it. And master.
Original holds up the 2 books. These 2 books have nothing to do with each other. They're not a copy.
No, they're copies of each other, but they have nothing to do with the map.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, no, they're completely totally languages.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Reginald didn't say any of that. I misunderstood
No.
I misunderstood what you were saying.
No, I still like the idea of these have nothing to do with each other.
Now,
You're not good at reading smut, are you?
That's simple misunderstanding on my part.
Yeah, no, the books have everything to do with each other. They look like exact translations from what you can tell.
Okay.
Like the illustrations are even the same. And you're pretty sure women don't have 4 legs.
Mm.
4-legged smut. Wow.
It's some real fictional fanfic.
You know, it's not just smut, it's inaccurate smut.
It's inaccurate smut.
My immersion.
That's
I would
great.
ask him why no one's there.
Thanks for reminding me, Megan. Oh yeah, Reginald starts to walk away to a table to research or something, and then he says, Master Kobold, why is nobody here? The table is set, but there are no people.
It's Tuesday.
Do they only congregate on a certain day?
He looks at you like you're a moron. It's
I'm
holy
not
day.
from here.
It's the holy day. It's Tuesday. And the Starsmith created Earth on Tuesday. Everybody's at church.
I see. I guess, Osric wasn't the religious type, especially.
No.
Isn't. He's not dead. Yes. He probably won't be if that damn house burns down. Thank you, good master, for these books. I appreciate it.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. If you need sandwiches, say, kitchen's over there. And he, like, points at a door.
Oh, thank you.
Also milk. And he just disappears into the books again, dragging his backpack.
Reggie will go and he'll make himself a sandwich, get some milk, and then he'll head out.
There's just a stack of sandwiches in the middle, on an island in the middle of the kitchen.
How old are those
What kind of sandwiches are there?
To the fish.
We talking deli meat, we talking
I would
steak.
roll a perception check on them to see how long they've been there.
No, I know exactly how long they've been there.
Uh-oh.
I'm saying
They're practically new. They're like
Wow.
from that morning.
Okay.
Wow.
You're seeing a combination of cured meats, a bit of fresh meat. Looks like maybe venison, you'd say, but it's mostly cured meats like salami or pepperoni or pastrami or something like that. Something that's been salted or smoked.
Okay, so like, are they already cut? Or are they just sandwiches?
You have sandwich.
Awesome. We'll take 3 sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah. Richard will also go and buy some glass vials.
Okay.
So to the market, glass vials, done.
Yeah, 3 glass vials in this part of town, probably 5 silver.
Oh, awesome.
They're obviously shaped like clean ink bottles.
Mhm.
They're obviously have never contained milk or anything liquid, but they're shaped like ink bottles.
5 silver for 3. He'll take 6 then.
How much gold is that by comparison?
1.
Alright.
1 to 6. He has 8 gold left. Alrighty, that's Richie.
Alright, whose turn is it now?
So quiet.
Always
Titan.
is dead.
Apparently.
I don't know. Somebody needs to take their turn now, don't
No, you're not part of
Okay.
this.
I know I'm not.
No, he actually was. His whole mic was lit up, but he wasn't talking.
Oh no.
Yep.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Ruh-roh.
Robo Ruggy.
Raggy, we gotta rob him.
I must learn to play cleric. So you to play fucking trickster.
Titan.
Initiate technical difficulties music.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Okay, that was weird because it was showing as not me.
What? Okay.
Well, I have a button on my headphones that lets me mute myself as I desire.
Without
so-
going to Discord, okay.
Without doing Discord. So Reggie's translating smut.
Or he's trying to learn a feel for the language.
Yeah,
So if they're
you're
going to
right.
places where they're going to be, like, if that old civilization was, obviously, he's going to need to learn a bit more about
Yeah.
the language.
You can tell for sure that this isn't the same language as the map uses.
Mm.
It uses,
Similar.
no.
No, we're
It's like, it's kind of like this halfway point between the alphabet that you guess is in the map and the alphabet you currently use. It's someplace in the middle.
Okay, so learning he'll learn about half of it then, like half. He'll learn the halfway point then.
Sort of, kind of. It's like a combination of and the alphabet. You're not going to get a whole lot of either out of it. But you're going to learn that language really good, and it's going to teach you 5 ways to say penis.
Okay. I would say forget that.
No, he's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, got it. You're translating smut for a while. Who would like to go next?
Me.
Yeah.
Monkey. All right, Mr. Monkey. You are going towards a bookstore. You are trying to find a store that sells journals.
Yes.
You find a general store relatively easily. Inside, just a dude, bald beard. Hello, how
Right?
can I help you? Hello.
Howdy. I would like to buy a book, if you have one, please.
What kind of book? We have many books. Do you want a book on marital aids?
No, like,
It's a bestseller.
I know what this guy's going through.
50 Shades of Silver.
Okay, I'm gonna say this now for everybody out of character. We need to be specific when we're talking.
Mhm.
Because Titan will
Micken.
spin this against us.
Make it. It's half the fun.
What the hell?
Exactly.
Let it be, my dude.
No, I said what the hell? Because someone up above me in my apartment. Some
Oh,
idiot just dropped a bowling ball.
oh, interesting.
Don't.
I just heard a loud thunk above
So
me.
I'm gonna go with a no on the book on marital aids. I don't see the ring. Or are you guys
No.
separated? Okay.
I'd like to buy an empty book, like to make a journal out of, please.
Oh, you want a journal? Okay. He pulls out one. It's just brown leather bound. Here you go. That'll be 5 silver.
Okay.
So that's half a gold.
Okay. How many gold do I have, or do I just start with?
You would have 10.
Okay.
Everybody was given 10 except for SG and
What explains why I don't
Bull.
see any?
well, because
My
you didn't
bad.
get the letter.
Ah, right. Okay.
The gold was in the letter.
Okay, that answers it.
Yeah.
So it's got no money?
No, you have money. You just didn't get the 10 gold
Oh, I didn't get the
from the
Oh,
letter.
man.
Yeah, so you get an extra 10 gold from the letter if you had it,
Oh,
and then your background gives you money too.
Yeah,
oh, then I would have had 20 gold.
correct.
Bye.
I just realized that, so I have 18 gold.
Correct.
There you go.
So,
I just changed that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, he just gives you it's just a book. You want something to write with it?
Yes, please.
He pulls out like a box of what look like kind of graphite sticks or lead sticks. Here you go. That'll be 5 more silver.
So 1 gold.
So he takes it, looks at your gold, bites it, nods to himself, puts it underneath the counter. All right. Is there anything else I can help you with? Are you sure you don't want that book on marital aids?
I'm sure I don't want that book.
How about the book on ruining a person's marriage? Oh, it's the same book. Never mind. Well, have a nice day.
Same, and thank you. And to you.
Just walk out.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right. Anybody else?
I think we're good.
Cat?
I guess getting kicked out of the church, I'm able to get the giant blanket. I needed to get paper after being transported with no gear on myself.
You're able to get paper relatively easily. The
How much
gnome,
is it? I need to know.
the gnome just if you mentioned it on your way out, the gnome would just give you a bunch of paper and a quill, because it would make you leave quicker.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have 50 sheets of paper and a quill and inkwell. No big deal.
He's got a printer.
All right.
Right, that's a lot of items.
Not really.
50 sheets of paper.
Yep, 50 sheets of paper. He just grabs a stack off of like a shelf on the way by and just shoves it at you. He's not really. Yeah. So, Kat, do you want to do anything?
Oh, she's muted deaf.
Oh, she's in the mute of death. Oh no.
Just 1 sec.
I'll be right back. Continue without me.
Okay.
Sam, I'm gonna go get some munchies.
Okay. We could take 5 here.
Yeah, 5.
So, how are you guys enjoying the game so far?
Death, destruction, domination.
Oh, she's back.
So, is there anything you would like to do, Kat?
No, it's Holy Day. I'm at church.
Not that holy day. It's the holy day of the Starsmith. Your guy doesn't really have many holy days, because every day you should be doing your best to be a holy person.
Same as me.
I'm basically just hanging around Simon as much as possible then to make sure that he doesn't use fire.
As you guys depart, he departs as well. Doesn't even really give a look over his shoulder or anything. He just kind of...
No, I'm just chilling. There's nothing special that I can think of right now.
Okay.
There we go. Excuse me, I have to double check on something. Yay, tea staining!
Oh, she's finally doing that.
So, alrighty. So do you guys want, once we get the people back, I will be asking magical question of what do you want to do next?
Well, you got one of us back.
Yeah, but we lost Kat too.
I know.
She has stick on her tea stain.
I understand that. I am not, annoyed or anything. It is simply a fact.
So, you want to ask this to everybody. Who here thought that chisel idea was pretty funny?
Oh, I thought that was super clever.
Micken?
What?
You're preparing for something many, 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 many sessions in the future. This isn't like a 2-session adventure.
I know, but I'm
just
being
immediately
an idiot.
I totally understand.
Preparation is better than desperation.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna stop recording while Well, quick thing is, we're waiting for Cat, right?
Yeah, we're waiting on a couple people.
All right. Well,
It would have been, haha,
No, pretty much, yeah.
Chaklang?
clank.
Cat's back.
all right.
Okay.
We're back.
Cat, what do you want to do?
Hibbidi-boop-bop. She doesn't want to do anything. She's just gonna derp around with her mute brother, annoying him.
Yup.
All right.
She's just gonna horse around.
That
That stopped her dead in her fucking
Face
tracks.
palm.
Well done, SG.
Wow.
Face palm.
Is Simon an assassin?
is Simone an assassin? Yes.
Some more.
It's Simon, 1M, my
Do
dude.
you know the way?
Do you know the way to Simon?
Oh, God.
No.
If anything, what she's doing is freaking out any of the travelers that are passing through.
Oh, so you're going to the major market squares and following your mute brother around going, hey, 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 I want an apple. Hey, you should buy an
Where can I
apple.
find the apples and carrots?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I need sustenance.
Just like
I
at the top
won't take
of
a
your
name for an
fucking,
answer.
All right.
just at the top of your fucking lungs. One of the guards who's known you since you and Simon were very small kind of walks up to you and says, Sion, stop. You're scaring the visitors. It's not okay.
But that's the point.
Don't make me tell your parents.
You just got told.
Oosh. By a city guard, no less.
Well, this is a man who is known
Yeah,
practically
no.
her whole life.
Yeah, basically.
And Simon's just kind of like nodding and pointing, and then poof. Like 1 second he's there, the second next he's gone.
I just sort of turn to look around for him and then yell out traitor.
You hear no response.
I
course you wouldn't.
just as much.
Sion, you need to stop.
I know. You're no fun.
I'm a guard. My job is to not be fun.
Then why not let me give you some fun?
Because your kind of fun includes people being kicked in the head.
No, just making them feel like it.
May I bring up the stable boy you kicked in the head 2 years ago because he thought you were a horse wandering around and needed to be brought back to the stable?
I mean, to be fair, he should have stopped when I started talking.
She has a point.
Mhm.
That doesn't change the fact you gave him brain damage.
Look, he was a stable hand. I don't know what he's doing nowadays. However, he should know better than to sneak up on a horse, period. Especially on the hindquarters.
See, you always say it that way, but everybody else says he came at you at the side, grabbed you by the head, and started to guide you. You shook off and then kicked him in the head. Don't give me that shit, Sion.
They're all liars. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Stop making trouble, Sion.
No promises.
Stop annoying the visitors. And I will buy you an apple.
They get a fermented apple.
Or would you prefer a carrot?
Don't pull it.
Have a good day, Sion. Don't do it again.
No
At
promises.
At least not on my shift.
Okay.
He turns and walks into the crowd. The crowd that is steadily dispersing since the guard arrived. Don't you love being the only talking horse in the city so the guard knows exactly who the fuck you are?
I know, right? I can't wait to go to a new land and just start talking.
Demon horse!
Give everyone a headache.
Alright,
Just don't
so
follow the cleric home.
Alright, so you guys have two options. You can skip till morning and be back at the Guild Taurus, or you can go back to the Three Steins and do some more roleplay typey thingies.
What to do with the Three Steins?
Roleplay.
Oh.
They can skip ahead or roleplay.
I have a scene set in the Three Steins. You guys don't have to play it. It is
Do
totally
Three
up to you.
Steins then. I vote.
Why
To
not?
the scene!
Why not?
Alright, sure.
It's a quick combat. It's going to be like 2 turns, I promise.
Okay,
Wait,
this will
we
be
get to
good.
beat up something?
Yes,
Alright.
because this is a session 0. This is me showing you guys the ropes of how I DM.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys all get back together at the Three Steins. Sit at your table. Get your mead. Simon's in the corner. Double fisting it.
Do he eat anything with the water? I mean, alcohol?
You've never seen him eat anything. You're pretty sure he hasn't taken his mask off even to drink the entire time you've seen him.
Wow,
What?
that's dedication.
It's good assassin. Oh, Goblin Slayer wanted to,
Nice.
So, as you guys chit chat and kind of hang out, this guy,
Which one?
this one,
Okay.
Okay.
walks up to Monkey. What the fuck is a fucking whore doing in the fucking bar? It's going fucking shit. Why the fuck did you bring your fucking horse into the fucking bar, you fucker?
She likes beer too. Ale or whatever.
You go away.
Also, I over here this
What the fuck is
way.
wrong
Over here.
with you? You fucking bring a fucking horse into this fine establishment, and then you fucking tell me that it like fucking ale. The fuck is wrong with you, you
Leon, would you like the answer or no?
Would you like
Shit
to
on
be
the
a
floor.
Would you like to be a
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and give me a deception check.
Please not fail. Damn it.
Okay,
13.
he believes you're a horse. In robes. Sitting on a stool. Like I said, you fucker. Where the fuck do you got a fucking horse? At this point, a couple of his friends start to, start getting kind of aggressive. The serving staff just moves. People start moving away.
Yeah, they know better.
Why do I get the feeling we're about to reenact the scene from, what's that movie called?
I move
What
over
did you
here.
say to me, you frickin' priss?
Sir, if anything does happen with the horse, we've already paid a down payment
Boondock Saints, right?
for this. The police is
Yes, it
calm
would be
down,
Boondock
go
Saints.
back to your
Yeah,
seat.
that's right.
We don't want any trouble, so
So,
please.
this gentleman, obviously, they're all obviously drunk. Yeah, you fucking cunt. What the fuck are you talking about? I'll fucking kill you with your fucking... And he pulls out a knife.
I'm going to cutting board immediately because I'm really annoyed and trying to write a letter.
Okay.
Roll initiative, folks.
Oh, boy.
Alright.
I think that's fine, only if I want to cut.
Initiative.
It's a
Shit!
good-
Damn! You screw on me!
Crap, how do I pull that shit up? Jesus Christ. I hate
There's
this UI.
I'm dead like
Ow! No,
there should be like a box thing.
Yeah.
2 natural ones for initiative. You guys go next round.
Bullshit.
Let's see.
I'll be surprised if I go this round at all.
It's
I've had -2 once.
Oh.
1 minute.
That was a point of pride for me.
It's the clock. It's the clock.
Mm-hmm.
What?
There we go.
There we go.
It is, okay.
I had to load up shenanigans to remember what's in this one.
So click your token, then hit the initiative button.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Zilla, you messed up.
Yeah.
And then just replace it with the original.
Question.
Wait, what?
And then it's gone.
No, I clicked it because now my... Oh, I know why. Never mind. I'm being silly. I switched my layer by accident.
Mm.
Oh.
There we go.
All right,
Hey,
should
least
I
our
roll
initiative's
initiative
better.
anyway?
Huh?
Should I roll initiative anyway?
Yes, you should still roll initiative. Nope. Jesus Christ, I hate how the... I wish there was just a better button.
Is there a way to organize it now? I don't know.
There is. Let's give him a sec.
Okay, there we go. Gonna go ahead, roll. God, I love technology. Okay. Okay, they have 18. And has everybody set their stuffus? Ready to go? All right. Let us begin. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
In the wrong order.
Descending, not ascending.
That's not fixing it.
No,
All
there's
out of order.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
Jesus Christ.
You have to organize it.
Is this G on there or not? What?
Okay.
You're hitting the arrow.
No,
That's not what you want.
The UI on this is trash.
I know, but if you do the settings, you don't have to manually move them.
All right, there we go. Except for me, Monkey, and Bull.
Shush. I'm working on it.
I'm just a horse.
Bullshit.
She's gotten her deception. The four of them honestly believe she's just a horse.
I'm waiting for them to come close and then just fuck with them.
I mean, that's assuming any of them get anywhere close to it.
Oh no, understandable.
If one tries to stab me, I'm not break his arm in half.
Okay. So Reginald or horse, you gonna just hold your action?
Yeah.
Okay, Seon is holding her action. Reginald.
Okay.
Right now, only one has pulled a knife, and the other three are just swinging. They're starting to descend into racial slurs, calling you like knife ears and calling.
But this one's pulled a knife, I assume.
No, this one has pulled a
Dead
knife.
center.
Okay.
Dead center has pulled a pocket knife. It is the equivalent of a dagger, but
Then Reggie will walk up to him, and he'll draw his dagger, and he will ready an action to cast Green Flame Blade on that person.
Okay.
I don't want to tell him. Just
Why not?
FYI.
Okay,
Yep.
At this time, you guys can say if you are going for lethal damage.
Or subdue.
There's SG.
Yeah.
Monkey was saying he couldn't see you.
Again,
Yeah, for whatever reason,
is it 12 on
she
the
wasn't
thing
on
then?
there.
Or what?
He's there now.
Yeah, except he,
On the turn order thing.
in the turn order, he's not showing up. SG, did
Oh,
you click your
I can
character?
see
Yeah,
him.
he is. He's number
No,
12.
he's right here. He's number 12.
Okay.
He's the 12.
Okay.
Might want to refresh.
I think we got image, not error.
Oh wait, no, I'm used to seeing SG as his centaur, not that.
Yeah.
But also because his icon is his centaur, so it's throwing me off.
Let me in too.
Technically, you need to change that 12 to a 0.
Ah,
Why is the guy in the turn order this guy?
Oh yeah, Reggie readies an action to Green Flame
Because
Blade
he's
him
the one who started the fight.
when if he attacks.
well, because they
one.
all attack on the same
Turn.
turn. I'm not
Okay.
going to give them each individual ones in the first time. They're fucking thugs with 5 to 7 hit points. I'm not gonna...
So yeah,
It's
Reggie holds an action for this guy to attack, and then he'll green flame blade.
I'm
if he
so
does.
dead. I didn't
Okay.
realize that.
Okay. Their turn. He's going to go first. He pulls out a club. And waves it wildly.
Did he actually hit anyone?
No.
He's
I
just
would tell
swinging
you
about-
if... I
he's
would,
just
yeah,
swinging
no.
about the drunk.
I'll fucking kill you! Bring a fucking horse into the... Okay, he's gonna go next. He pulls out a dagger.
That was that far guy.
Yeah,
Yep,
black.
far dude. Shit.
What did he roll?
Oh, he rolled a natural 20.
Double damage dice.
Damn.
First level.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. We have 2 clerics and a bard.
Here's the girl on.
Stabbed to death.
Alright, Micken, you take 7 hit points of damage.
Seriously?
Ouch.
Yes, he stabbed you good.
How much you have
Fucking
left?
bullshit.
He got you.
I know.
He critted, dude, with a knife.
I know. Just, of course.
It's me. You're the one who's up front, my dude.
I
It
was
happens.
expecting a natural 20. That was the last
Nobody expects the natural 20.
on the first attack.
Okay.
How much health you have left?
So then Reggie attacks him
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
with his dagger, so 15, and then because of the green flame blade spell. This person here, sorry, the one that attacked Michael, he takes an additional 3 points of damage from Reginald's intelligence one. No,
Are you
subdual, of
trying to
course.
kill them or just...
No, subdual.
Okay.
I mean, you stabbed at him. The
Yeah,
drunk
stab him in the leg, and he bleeds unconscious, but he's still
He's just
alive.
like, ah!
And this guy's burned for 3 hit points.
Yeah, I already noted it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, he just saw his buddies get stabbed, so he pulls out a very large chair leg, kind of like a club.
No.
No.
We're close.
Okay, so he hits nothing. He swings wildly, cursing at you, buddy. Echo.
I'm just gonna take the nearest person to me.
Which person?
The one
Go
next
ahead and
to-
ping who you're targeting.
The guiding bolt, I love it.
Are you trying to kill them or knock them out?
Now subdue.
Alright.
Okay.
So click the guiding bolt in chat. There you go.
Okay. That is your turn. And now it is the turn of the magical Mark Pound.
Go to Mark Pound Town.
Giggity. All right. What you gonna do, Mark?
Can you just like me short sword to what's it called? What's the guy?
The drunk?
Knock them out.
Yeah, knock him out or something.
All damage.
yeah,
will be done.
Yeah,
Subdual.
you're telling us that you're doing subdual damage with your blade. So
Okay.
you're hitting him in the side of the head with the flat of your blade, or shooting, or
the
stabbing
front
him
of the grade.
in not important places.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, you hit. Go ahead and click the short sword to do your damage.
Right.
In the chat, click short sword, and that'll give you damage. Okay.
Nice. We got some good mods.
Okay. That is your turn, and now it is Michael, the Lizard Man. There's only one left standing. What you gonna do? Scooby-Doo.
when they come for you.
Oh, he's not in.
Mickey is not in here.
Micken's gone. What the fuck?
Oh, his internet probably dropped.
Uh-oh.
It happens sometimes. Oh,
There we go.
Beep doop.
No.
You were up, my dude.
Yeah.
gonna punch him.
Oh, again.
And like a fart in the wind, he's gone. Like a turd. Such a
Great
dumb
movie.
fucking line. The movie's okay.
It's entertaining.
Oh.
Yes, your turn. What do?
There we go.
Okay, you can hear us now?
Yeah, my PC, my Discord just went to shit for a second.
Okay. So, your turn, what do?
Okay, what this guy's left? That's all that's left?
Yep, the guy's, he's the only non-X'd one and nobody else is fighting.
You know what? What do you think? You know what? I'm gonna punch him in the head.
Do it!
I'm
No.
not trying to kill him, I'm just trying to knock him out. Okay, whatever.
That 9 is
Desire
not
to
gonna...
harm him.
Hold on.
Oh.
I didn't take the bonus action.
That's right.
You gonna try and bite him non-lethally?
I'm gonna try and bite onto his shirt and throw him across the room.
Okay, then we're gonna
These
need
monks
a...
have that offhand attack.
Yeah, you're gonna need a grapple check, my dude.
Okay, you know what? I'll do an offhand attack.
Okay, do your offhand attack then.
Nice.
No.
Aw.
Okay. Ectorios?
Alright.
Ectorio. What you want to do, my dude?
So, does Thunder Wave do any damage?
Probably
Mhm.
not to all of us.
2d8. It also fuck this place up.
So,
Alright, so...
just hit him.
Well, I don't have any sort of unarmed...
What do you have for attack?
Do you have a sword?
Hold on, Megan.
I've got my hammer.
Yeah, you can hit him with your hammer, dude. The only thing you can't do is, you're just trying not to kill him.
Right.
So
You know
if you want to move and then hit him with,
Nice. You
yeah,
crack
if
him.
you,
Do it,
yeah.
Nora.
Yep,
like-
you hit him good. Do your damage. Ooh, he's not down yet.
Oh.
Aw.
Aye. Kill steal time.
Yeah, except you
Okay.
forget I'm first.
Horse time. What do you want to do, horse?
Well, I'm definitely moving over here.
Okay. The fucking horse is fucking me now. Fucking.
Hi, asshole.
I'm gonna go get another beer.
What the fuck?
Yeah, hi.
Fucking talking horse.
Miss.
No.
I'm gonna go get
Eh.
another beer.
Hi. Yeah. The fuck? Okay, Reginald. You've got a drunkard in front of you who just got hit in the shoulder pretty good by a hammer.
This is getting ridiculous. Non-lethal. Just like with the back of his hand. Boom. Misses.
Yep.
Offhand attack as a bonus action.
Okay.
It's strength. I'm just gonna roll a strength check.
Okay.
Nope. He fails miserably.
Yeah. You just kind of like you're like rubbing your hand on his chest a little bit. Just it's uncomfortable. His turn. There's a fucking horse in front of me. Fuck you, horse.
Oh.
Titan!
Drop! Drop!
Seriously,
Oh,
what
fuck.
the fuck?
It's not my fault.
Bullshit!
Roll that damage. 2d4. Oh, 5.
It's a club. It's not a knife.
Oh,
He's
it's a
got
club.
Yeah, he's got a club. It's 2d6. So, Cat, you take 5 damage. And that's his turn. Fucking hit the horse, I did. If you could see the fucking faces I'm doing to get these guys' voices right. Like, I have no chin when I'm saying them. Alright, Echo.
Because secret flame, because screw this person.
Not trying to
Okay.
kill him,
What?
right? You're not.
I'm not killing
Okay.
him.
I didn't
Okay.
understand a word he said.
He says he's not killing him.
Okay.
Okay, he's downed.
About damn time.
Time to loot.
No.
They wear
And then
pants.
rob them.
Like the good fucking murder hobo you are.
Okay, I look over at Echo and say, by the way, do you have any spells to heal the jackass who,
Do I have
I've-
to?
considering we just stabbed him in the leg and he's bleeding, it would be a good idea to
The fucking horse's friend fucking stabbed me!
Michael,
I've-
it's fine. Reginald walks over and kicks him in the head unconscious.
I've got I've got a healing.
Then he'll
spell
start
if we
dragging
actually
him
need it.
outside.
Okay, heal the guy's leg, and that's it.
All right.
Reginald's dragging the unconscious body outside.
I heal.
There is a door directly behind them.
He goes for the door then.
Right there.
And I heal the guy's leg.
Over there.
Is this a door or a fireplace?
That's the fireplace.
South.
Where's
Yeah,
the door?
straight
I'll
south of their
drag two
position.
Of them with him.
Oh.
I'll
Okay.
drag the two more with him.
Throws them outside into the wind. As they roll away like the turds they are.
Okay, take all the ones but the one you stabbed, let him get healed, just enough, and then drag him outside too.
Again, Michael, he's fine.
Before they do that, can I just loot their
Uh,
weapons?
You know what?
What?
They were down,
Okay,
We didn't kill him. We just
my
KO'd him.
friend.
you stabbed
Two
one of them.
have chair legs. You don't know where the chair legs came from because they don't belong to any of the chairs here. And the other two have dull daggers.
I'll take the,
They
No,
did damage
no.
well enough.
That's what I'm about to say.
I'll take the dagger to sharpen it or sort of.
So,
Mithrin will flag a waitress. Sorry, not Mithrin. Reginald will flag a waitress.
Yeah, yes, Lord. Yes, can I help you?
That whole thing won't cause any problems for us, will it?
I don't know.
I looked
enough.
over it. I
So
looked
the
over at you
bartender,
and
kind of doop 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 doop.
Hello. That whole thing won't cause any troubles for us, will it? Them attacking us?
considering we were trying to be polite, and then one of them shanked me.
You
I
hear,
thought
you guys can actively see one of the veins in his forehead just like kind of thumping,
I just smile.
as much as a horse can.
Yeah.
It looks really obnoxious.
Like,
Sir,
this
if
isn't
I
the
give you
first
2 gold,
time.
will you just calm down?
You just stabbed 4 people and then used magic on them in my bar, including setting one of them on fire
What?
in my bar.
What did I miss?
They
Considering
started
they
them
picked the
stab
fight,
us.
And that's
Well,
the
you
only
can kill
reason.
them.
I would fucking hope so. Last time I checked, killing people is illegal!
we didn't kill them. They're still alive.
And that's why I'm not calling the constables or the guards. Do it again, and we'll have problems. Don't do it again.
Gives him a 2-finger salute.
Do you mean the 3-finger salute because of the way the flipping off works?
No.
What?
The 2-finger salute. He's not flipping them off.
No,
He'll
like,
order another
like
glass
aye,
of
aye,
wine.
Captain. I got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
aye, Captain. Yeah, he ignores you. Don't expect any free drinks in the near future.
Free.
I'm gonna go over to the bartender for a second.
Go away.
Sir,
turn your scaly ass around and go away.
Fine. I apologize formally, but never mind.
Pearls to swine, Michael. Pearls to swine. Don't offer what others won't accept.
Trying to keep us out of trouble.
We're fine. Everything is fine. Those 4 are fine. They're gonna wake up a bit battered and bruised, but alive.
Their own
And
fault.
wiser, hopefully.
You didn't say
Why did it
anything!
work?
If you had said something, maybe they would have backed off.
Hmm.
See, but that's not as much fun.
They did put a knife on us.
Yeah, after, we tried... I know we're not in trouble yet, but this keeps happening. I'm gonna end up hurting somebody more than I want to. As my
They're
character
fine.
tries to rub his forehead to calm down.
All right, it's time to find out who wants to be a murderer.
What?
Oh no, I might have to explain what murder hobo means.
No, I didn't
Murder
hear you.
hobo is a
said
term
that.
for adventurers. They go from town to town and have
Killing-
no home of their own.
And kill
Killing
everything that
monsters and
moves.
And taking
No,
their
I'm
stuff.
saying-
I think
no,
that's
I
what
didn't hear
Simon was
what you
for.
said.
Simon has a home.
He's
You
just a
don't know-
murderer.
Yeah, he's just a murderer. He probably gets paid money for it. You're not actually
Well, I mean, he can't really tell me now, can he?
Okay,
I mean, he could tell you. You can understand sign.
Understandable.
dumb question.
Reginald takes a glass
Before
of
we
wine and takes it
continue,
upstairs.
Yes.
does this tavern also count as an inn or no?
Yes, this is the Three Steins Inn.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't know if you want to stay the night here though, since
Then, God
you
damn it.
stabbed some of the locals.
They stabbed me first!
I know, but it doesn't change the fact that you stabbed some of the locals in the bar.
I got kicked out of 2 places to stay.
I looked at everyone here and say, "You're all done made me have a heart attack."
Now you understand why your master said, "I'm going to send you because they deserve somebody who knows what's going on." Mark, you are in the middle of the largest city for 200 miles.
Oh,
I'm going to find
It's
another inn.
literally 3 times the size. What's a good sized city?
New York?
No, New York's too big because it's only 150,000 people here.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
It's about the size of Milwaukee. Takes his
how
wife
long-
upstairs.
what
He
was
sets
it
an alarm on his wrist. You
yeah.
were offered a bed by Master Cobalt.
Oh, yeah. He'll stay here. It'll make it interesting.
I'm not getting involved in this.
And he sleeps nice.
Yep.
The 4 hours he needs it.
You know
Ugh.
what? And I go up to the bartender, say, "You know what? Did the room that was reserved for me to someone else?" And I toss him a gold coin just as an apology.
Okay. You are able to easily enough find a place in a hostel of the Starsmiths, since you're a worshipper and a
Right.
representative of one of their far-flung monasteries. They're able to give you a place to crash for the night.
And
So-
out the door I go.
Yep, out the door. Okay, is anybody else going to try and find another place to sleep for the night? I mean, obviously Simon and Sion have their own places in town. Sion still doesn't know where Simon lives because he definitely doesn't live with her, but every morning he's still fucking there drinking coffee and having having toast.
Yeah, for some reason he breaks into my house, but I'm not allowed to break into his.
You don't know where it is.
Exactly.
Also, you don't have thumbs, so breaking in is literally breaking in.
I know.
You have to replace the door every morning.
So, what
On
are
the
we doing
window.
now?
We are going to do a time skip unless somebody wants to go.
I need to find a room.
I don't feel like
think
sitting
I
around and testing my luck.
I guess I find another inn to stay.
Give me 2 seconds. No, he's willing to give you guys the rooms because you guys already had the rooms set aside for you, and you've already paid, quote unquote. He's been paid already, so he's not going to turn you away because you're still a paying customer. He's just not super stoked with about the fact that you stabbed 4 of his regulars.
Yeah.
I burn one and then bullet one.
Even though one stabbed me.
Micken, you're an out-of-towner.
I still call it bullshit.
I understand it's bullshit.
You can. That's your prerogative.
You're out of towner. He can't count on you to be consistent stuff. Meanwhile,
Well, that's
they
why I gave
are.
him the extra gold coin as an apology, and I left.
Yeah. It's all economics. Also, he probably knows those 4 guys, and he knows they're fucking stupid idiots, but they're his stupid idiots.
enough.
But you're my stupid idiot.
Say, who else? Or what else?
So, yeah, you guys are all able to find whether you stay in the inn or go elsewhere. So, the next morning, you guys can go back to Guild Taurus, because he said he would have at least an idea of what the fuck's going on at that time.
And by this time, I would consider this a rest, so I did all my hit back.
Yes, you heal your constitution and hit points, but you are totally fine. It was a quickie to get you guys set.
Right.
The same guard is there. He looks up. Oh fuck! Not this shit again.
Why, hello. We have an appointment.
Can it?
No.
Knocks on the door behind him. Different scribe. Yes, hello. Yes, can I help you? Yes, what? I have an appointment with the master scribe. Okay, come with me. He opens the door the rest of the way.
Reginald walks past, same grin as the other day. Of course, the horse speeds ahead.
More so, I'm not doing all that. I'm just moving.
Well, I had to move my mouse. I had to move across because it's a big enough place.
Yeah, I know.
She has 60 movement speed, yes.
That's awesome.
Damn, I've only got half that.
Well, I mean, she's a fucking horse!
Yeah, I don't have arms. I have legs. For days.
Right.
In fact, she has several racial abilities based around the fact that she doesn't have hands.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we're at the door.
Okay, thank you. Okay, he's here. Thank you. Goodbye.
I knock on the door.
Yes, come in. Hurry up, yes.
Hello,
He's
sir.
haggard.
Oh, crud.
What?
Late
What do you
night.
mean
Drunk
by,
or what?
as in drunk?
No, as in he had a late night trying to figure stuff out, probably.
No.
He's probably been up all night
So-
trying to translate this damn thing.
Obrex's office has the look of a bomb site. Books and papers everywhere, seemingly at random. And in the center, a much disheveled Obrex sits poring over battered books. He looks up. Do you have any coffee? No?
Sadly, no.
How unfortunate. Anyway. He pulls the map out. Pushes, like, practically shoves the stuff off the table so he can put it down. Alright, let's see here. I recognize the language. It's an old temple language. Old before the time of the Cataclysm. Like, so old, nobody used it outside of, specific holy texts. I have no idea why it is in a map. I have translations, but they're 2 or 3 steps removed. There are translations.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Writing an apology and write a letter to the sun goddess and god. Okay. Okay, Echo. The god never hated you, just the dude representing the god.
No, I did that. I didn't know what I could do, so.
It's all good, my man. Okay, The problem is I have translations of translations of translations. So they're all 2, 3, 4 steps removed from this map.
So
Is it
they're
understandable,
not exactly the most accurate.
I mean, considering it's one continent versus two.
Can we understand what it says, or can you at least?
No! That's what I'm saying! It's like trying to translate it, starting at Corwayan, moving to Gallian, changing it to Ferdir, changing the entire alphabet and starting with the Olven language, and then changing it a 4th time, and trying to read it
It's a custom-made cipher.
in Sabaran.
Sounds like someone doesn't want this to actually get translated.
No, it's just such an archaic language.
That it's
Like
so hard to translate, period.
Yeah, it was an ancient language before the continent split.
So it's basically a dead language at this point.
There is good news, though. I found a reference in an old master scribe's journal to a Rosetta Stone set into the wall of some ruins a few days from here.
Sounds like a lead.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get me a rubbing...
A rubbing? What?
You want to
A copy of the...
Yeah, a rubbing.
Oh.
So
As
it's
in
basically
charcoal.
a copy of it.
You take charcoal and a piece of paper, you put the piece of paper onto the carving, and then you run the charcoal over top of it. It gives you a negative, a photo negative.
Have you never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Or no?
No.
Monkey, it's like
It's a
when
literal copy.
Have you
of
ever
her.
had like a coin or something underneath a piece of paper and you just start rubbing all over it with like a
Yes.
pencil or something?
It's
That's
that.
what we're doing.
Okay.
If you can get me a rubbing of it, I can do some translating.
Should be easy enough to get that.
It's the closest town is River Blue Crossing. It's you get there, then you take the river north, about 2 days, and there's a ruined fortress.
Hmm.
Do you happen to know if bandits regular said fortress?
I was thinking that too.
Do I look like the guard? I wouldn't know. I barely know how to walk down a path in the park
We'll have to
without
ask
getting lost.
locals when we get there.
Duly noted.
I apologize, sir. Thank you for your help. We will return with this.
Rubbing.
Got
The
the word.
rubbing for
Well,
you.
you probably want the paper and the charcoal, I assume.
No?
If you have some to
Some
revive,
already.
we would accept it.
We have
Yes.
some spare
We
paper.
never have enough paper.
Yeah, he pulls out like a tapestry-sized roll of paper
Oh.
takes it.
and just gives it to you and like 3 sticks of charcoal.
Thank you.
Alright.
It's a wall.
A
Yeah,
little
good
wall
point.
of text. Okay.
Okay, fair point.
A literal wall of text.
We weren't sure of the size.
Yes,
apologize.
it is a whole wall.
Wow.
And it has 3 languages from what the journal says. I need all 3.
Please.
Done and done.
Okay. We shall
All right,
return.
and with it being almost 10 o'clock my time, which means it's almost midnight on the East Coast,
Yep, 10
Yeah.
minutes.
we are gonna go ahead and call it right there.
All right.
Right.
Woo!
I like it, man. I like it.
After all, I gave you something special. Don't you think it's ironic you're the first boy I've ever kissed? 'Cause I'll be your last!